What's up, you guys? Episode 246. Welcome. Well, it's a big sports week as the college football returns finally after a long hiatus, long off season. Pretty much basketball and baseball taking over. Serena said goodbye. Spider Mitchell goes east. John Gruden speaks. Jimmy G stays. Jeannie Bush switches up. Got our NFL preview and much more. Let's get started.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL show. While me and Armani are coming to you live from the East Coast, Armani in Virginia and Rev in PA. And we're coming to you giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real sports knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red Rev, Coach, and Armani for episode 246 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we turn our sports attention to Coach Patrick Thomas to give us something or someone related to those three numbers, 2, 4, and 6. What you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. We are live here. My number 46 will go to a man. You know him as a player. He played for the New York Jets, but you know him more as a coach who uttered these famous words: "You play to win the game." Our number 46 is going to be two-time Pro Bowler Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards is number 46.
All right. And where does the 2 fall into place with Herm?
Two-time Pro Bowler.
Two-time Pro Bowler. All right. You gave us somebody at least we recognize or remember, maybe not as a player, but as a coach, definitely. And definitely who currently coaches what school?
I think it's Arizona State.
Arizona State. We remember him as the coach of the New York Jets first and foremost, and then also who else did he coach?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you, Armani. So glad to have you on the show, my young friend, and so glad to be back with the fellas as Red is adjusting his camera. Hopefully everybody's doing fine. Everybody had a blessed week. Thank you, Red and Coach, for holding things down. We all right over there, Red? All right, let's get it started. We also need to welcome Reverend Knight Nation. Let's see if there's some comments that have come in. What's going on? Joe Black is holding it down on YouTube and is the only one in Reverend Knight Nation to have reported thus far. But we'll see if anybody else jumps in as time goes on. Red, you're shaking your head. What you got your head shaking for?
Nothing.
All right. Well, we'll see if nothing becomes something later on in the show. Here we go, fellas. Good morning, Sister Dana. Glad to have you. Thank you for tuning in to the Red and Rev Sports Show on this morning. All right. And Armani, Joe Black, showing you some love this morning. Said it's good.
Hey, what's up going on, Joe?
Look at you, man. You see that folk have been missing our young friend off the set. This is our third show back from hiatus, so we're so glad that Armani is here, and it's ironic that he's here so that we have to hear this Roll Tide stuff every week.
Roll Tide.
As football season, college football season comes on in. All right, Reverend Knight Nation is waking up. All right, good morning to you, Brother Maurice Thrower in Florida. Good to see you as well. And during the course of this show, feel free, Reverend Knight Nation, to share your thoughts as we move forward, as we continue on with this particular season and episode 2, 4, and 6. And let me thank Coach for holding some things down until I was able to get in the saddle, because the Reverend had some things to do this morning. So I'm trying to get myself adjusted so that I can do what I do best here on the Red and Rev Knight Sports I haven't booted you yet, Red. Nevertheless, but we press on. Here we go. Revenite Nation, let's get ready to rock and roll with Dope, Nope, and Cope. And we'll start with you, Coach. What are you doping on this week? What you got, sir?
My dope moment goes to today. Just today. College football is back. Football is back. It's time for every weekend to be filled with football in some form or another. So college football is back. I'm giving props to Saturday, September 3rd.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
All right, Red, what are you doping on, sir?
I'm doping on one Brian Robinson, an athlete who was unfortunate to end up in a violent incident last week. But thankfully, to God's grace, he survived his shooting incident and was able to even make it back to the team facility this week. And there's even a chance that he still might play this football season after getting shot twice last weekend in an attempted robbery. Like I say, God bless this brother that he survived, and just looking forward to hopefully good things in the future. I'm just glad his career and his life wasn't taken away over an incident like that. Good luck to you, and God bless you, Brian Robinson.
All right, Armani, what are you doping on, sir?
What's going on? I'm doping on one Russell Wilson signing a 5-year, $245 million contract, includes $165 million guaranteed. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Wilson. Hey, man, you go out there, get you a Super Bowl or two. You got all the right pieces. You got the defense. Let's see what you can do, man.
All right, and I am doping on the young lady who played Serena Williams on last night. I dare not butcher her name, but she definitely was a worthy opponent for Serena. But I'm doping more so on the fact of her grace in her interview after the game, how she gave Serena her flowers while she was alive, even acknowledged how Serena was a major force in helping her become the tennis player that she has become on today. So big ups to Sister A.T. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm just going to call her A.T. Big ups, and big ups.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we turn our attention to Red now. What are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on. Which one do you guys should I pick? I guess I'll go with Matt Olson. For your last 20, dude. Now I know you got 27 homers and you tops and extra base hits in the National League. But come on now, your batting average is dipping to almost 245. Come on, mate, got to step it up. It's crunch time. Everybody on the team got a hit last night besides you and Robert Grossman. Not getting on Robert Grossman because he's a newcomer. You a sustained piece, Matt. Can we go 0 for 20 now, especially in crunch time? We're in the middle of a pennant race. Matt Olson, step it up.
The clarion call has been brought forth to Matt Olson. All right, Armani, what are you noping on, sir?
I am noping on one. I can't remember his first name. I don't think I can pronounce it anyway. But I've never done a UFC note before, so I'm noping on Usman, who got knocked out, I think, two weeks ago. Waited to the last round to take a kick to the face. Come on, man. You had the fight. You had to fight and you wait for the last 30 seconds to get knocked out. Come on, man.
No!
2 weeks ago, our money. No wonder you can't remember his name.
Well, I am noping on the Braves bullpen. Yes, the Braves are only down 3 games to the New York Mets, but they should only be down 1 game to the New York Nets if the Braves bullpen had handled their business against the St. Louis Cardinals. The closer, Kenley Jensen, blew a save on Saturday. Then Mike Minter comes back and blows a lead Sunday night after Dansby Swanson hit that clutch 3-run homer. Braves bullpen, get your acts together. We need you to show up against the contenders, not the pretenders, such as the Miami Marlins and the Colorado Rockies. Get your stuff together because the Braves should only be 1 game down, but right now there are 3 games, all because of the Braves bullpen. So here's my comment to you guys.
Oh, come on!
All right, Coach, what are you noping on, sir?
And FIFA and Qatar, the company that are holding the World Cup, they're going to allow beer sales. And if those folks weren't rowdy enough, you going to put beer in them, allow them to drink beer, and let them go crazy after one of their home teams loses? Well, good luck. We'll hear about the international incident coming up soon. So stay tuned for that.
You have got to be kidding.
All righty, and as we close this Dope Nope and Cope section of the show, we go to Cope and Red. I'm sorry, Armani, what are you coping on?
I'm coping on one. Boston Celtics Donald Gallinari. Man, that was a huge loss. Tearing his ATL is going to be out 6 to 12 months. Maybe he can bet for the playoffs. You know, you never know. We'll see, but I get it. I understand it. 6 to 12 months is a long recovery. I wish him a very well recovery.
Whoa. What happened now?
Gallinari ATL.
Torres, yeah.
The one we sent to Boston, right?
Yeah.
And you say he tore his ACL?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he played for the Celtics now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be so happy now.
Yeah.
I was just clarifying things, making sure that we did send him to Boston.
We did.
Okay.
All right, I'm coping on the fact that the New York Knicks just can't get it right. They can't get it right at all. And we'll talk more about it later on in the show. But once again, the New York Knicks cannot seal the deal in getting Donovan Mitchell. And that's just a shame for that market. For they need a superstar, not guys who try to act like they're a superstar. But so much for the Big Apple and so much for the New York Knicks being relevant this coming season. All right, Coach, what are you coping on?
Well, I'm coping for the University of Brigham Young, who is about to get a major backlash coming up in the next few months over the incident with the young lady from Duke. I can see Don Staley pulled out of a game with them from South Carolina, and I can probably see other schools saying, nah, we're good, and leaving BYU in the dust. And BYU, you about to catch some backlash over some nut that you allowed to use the words he used without getting rid of him quickly. So BYU, get ready. You about to have some problems.
Game over, man. Game over.
All right, and Red, to conclude this Coach section, what are you coping on, sir?
Well, I kind of want to piggyback off what Coach said. I mean, why are folks even still not talking about that incident? I even heard it was possible that the incident could be a hoax, and still folks are not talking about that. We went a whole week. And how many times did you hear people bring up that incident this week on any of the debate shows? This is ridiculous. So, but you know what? If they don't want to talk about it, fine. I ain't going to talk about it. If that don't mean nothing to them, it don't mean nothing to me. I'm not going to waste time on our show talking about it when the other shows that actually get paid money weren't wasting time talking about this incident. I'm not even sure if the incident is even real now. You know what I'm saying? I got half people saying it was a hoax. The other half of people saying it's real. You got Don Staley coming out saying she not going to do something with BIU. Has anybody confirmed this incident actually happened? And if so, why aren't people talking about it? The incident that racial. If it really happened like they say it went down, why aren't more people talking about it? So you saying something like that can happen racially to a sister, and we can just go 2 weeks without nobody saying crap? Okay, fine. So that's how they feel about black women in sports. But we spent all yesterday praising Serena Williams over something positive, but something important like that, and we barely talking about it. Now I'm really wondering how real this story really is. But fine, I'm about to move on. What am I coping with? What is Deion Jones' role with the Falcons? I have absolutely no idea. First, I heard we were going to trade him in the offseason. Then we go through all the training camp. He actually makes the team. Now he's on the PUP injured reserve. Can't even play the first 4 games. What is going on with Deion Jones? Now, either he's part of the team or he's not. If he's part of the team, why is he not playing? I don't get it. If the team is ready to move on from him, move on. Lord, you just keep having this guy on the roster. If he's not part of your future, get that position to another young linebacker or somebody else on defense who can possibly make plays.
Short
We just
takes, Red.
wasting
Thank
roster
you.
spots
Thank you,
with
Red.
people who going on injured reserve.
Thank you, Red. We started becoming the Red Sports Show for a minute. Goodness
Sorry,
gracious,
y'all.
dude. These are short takes.
Okay, but I'm done. But that was what I'm coping on. But I had to say something about that Duke incident.
All right, man. We understand your passion about it. Thanks for piggying back up on what Coach had to say and sharing with us about your coping on with Brother Deion, who is in limbo right now. All right,
Hey, I'm fired up.
Let's see what Revenite Nation is saying. Red almost took y'all time, boy. So glad I was able to stop it.
Sorry, y'all.
Long. Let's see what the Revenite Nation has to say real quickly. And they got quite a few comments. There's some people who've joined us since we started the show. Good morning to you, Brother Rex. Glad to have you. Good morning to you, Brother Kevin.
What's
Joe
up, Kevin?
Doping on Braves pitcher, setting the record with 16K. Spencer Strider. That boy is awesome. 16 Ks the other day. Maurice Thrower doping on the love and respect everyone showed. Serena last night, it was onion worthy. Okay, we won't even go there. We won't even go. If you don't know what he was referring to at the end, text me later, all right?
No.
Sister Dana Breckis is doping on Howie Roseman, Philadelphia Eagles.
Red,
General
you got
manager
it wrong.
moves he's been making, and very hopeful those Eagles have an excellent season. Doping on Coach saying last week that once season starts, he will give my Eagles some acknowledgement. I hope you're able to cheer a little bit, Sister Dana. You are right with me, but I just don't see much cheering with as long as your boy Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. I'm just sorry. Sounds like y'all got a great team on paper, but Jalen Hurts, there's a reason why he had to transfer from Alabama to Oklahoma, and I'll just push the pause button right there. All right, Joe Black also doping on Dawn Staley, canceling her home game with BYU over the racial incident. He's also noping on Jalen Mayfield still is employed by the Falcons. Joe Black is giving it to us heavy today. He's coping on Armani cousin having to go to the Jazz. Brother Colin Sexton got shipped out of Cleveland. Sister Brickus is giving us a world matter. She's coping on a disturbed individual circling over Tupelo, Mississippi, threatening to crash into a Walmart. That's not good news right there. Praying for that situation. Maurice Thrower noping to the Knicks. Once again, Lucy pulled the ball away from them landing a top-tier free agent. He wasn't a free agent, but a top-tier player he was. Yeah. He is, rather. Sister Brick is agreeing with Rev on the note for the New York Knicks marketing. Joe Black, first take, talked about it. So Ray was responding to what you had to say. Joe Black said, I'll send you the chili, Red. That's between you and Joe, I guess. Sister Bricker said Red is very passionate this morning. Kevin Kelly said he's not linebacker material anymore, talking about Deion Jones. And Sister Brick is thinking Rev is throwing shade on a quarterback. But no, I'm just speaking truth. You don't even believe Jalen Hurts is the guy to send you all to a Super Bowl. So don't come at me, Sister Brick's. No, I'm just playing. But I do believe that Jalen Hurts is not the answer. All right, the Eagles are a quarterback away from making some noise. And I've been consistent about how I feel about Jalen Hurts ever since he's come into the league. Nevertheless,
Rev can go from town to town, destroying quarterbacks.
Well, the quarterback got destroyed in Atlanta before I left. That's for sure. I was one of the first to let y'all know that we were dealing with fool's gold even after he took the team to the Super Bowl. But I won't say anything more about that. I saw the disguise of being a franchise quarterback before it was finally unveiled to everybody in Atlanta. But we'll move on anyway. All right, let's get ready, my brothers and sisters, for our Braves report. Red, you're on deck. Get ready. Batter up.
It's game time. It's GT.
What you got, Red?
Well. I read piggybacking a lot today. Well, let me go on and keep piggybacking off what Rev was talking about earlier. After last week's episode, our bullpen completely melted down. I mean, we were just rolling. Just kicking butt had me here saying, man, we cannot be stopped. And then Saturday and Sunday's game came. Kelly Jansen on Saturday, AJ Minter on Sunday. Lord, I mean, just left a bad taste in my mouth. Snicker once again seeing the accident before it happened and just don't do nothing until that crash actually happens. So thank you again, Snickers, for waiting until he actually blew the game to make the move. But anyway, thankfully I got that nasty taste out of my mouth and a new week began. Then started off positive now. Started off with another loss on Tuesday, which made it 3 straight. But eventually, Braves got their stuff together and came back and won the last 2 games to salvage that series versus the Rockies, and came back and beat up on Florida last night. So I guess for the week, we went 3-1. You know, we playing a little, like Rev say, we playing some chumps right now. So we would expect to do that. Really should have been 4-0 after that debacle with the bullpens on the weekend. But anyway, still 3 games back. Should be 1 game back. Just still, like I say, we got Florida the rest of the week. So we just got to keep it going. Michael Harris won Rookie of the Year again. Your boy Isaac started his rehab assignment in Gwinnett. Your boy Mike Soroka is still down there continuing his rehab assignment in Gwinnett. I wouldn't be surprised if both of those guys are back on the team this coming week. That's right. This coming week, I won't be surprised if Soroka and Isaac are back this coming week. We got to get all our bullets ready, but we are ready, getting ready to defend this championship. And I want a much better defense. Well, the defense we had in 96 is good until we got to the World Series. This year, I want it even better, okay? So that's what we're doing, y'all. Playing some chump teams right now. We got the Mets at the end. It's September now, so we got the Mets at the end of the month. In between, we got a lot of chump teams. In addition to Seattle, got to watch out for them. And we got Philly, got to watch out for them. But other than that, Braves, I expect the Braves to be just sweeping through these little garbage, trash teams they got to play. No excuses. We got a championship to defend. Let's go. Matt Olson, get the molasses out your you know what. Robert Grossman, we expecting things from you. Heredia, you just keep up with the home run celebrations. I expect nothing from you when you come into the game. Absolutely nothing. Okay? But anyway, chop, baby. Still 3 games back, leading the wild card. Let's go, Braves.
So I'm going to say this. I think the Braves may have blown their chance to
last weekend,
at least, because the Mets schedule is trashier than the Braves schedule.
God.
And the Braves missed an opportunity to pick up another game on the Mets when they lost the first game to the Colorado Rockies.
Yep.
And the Dodgers beat the Mets. So they could be tied if the bullpen didn't mess up against St. Louis. And then if they had beat Colorado, I actually went to that game on Tuesday night when I was in Atlanta and saw them lose against the Colorado Rockies 3-2. Matt Freed didn't have his best stuff, but I think that 3-game stretch might wind up being the difference between the Braves being the wild card and the Mets winning. And at least I hope, for my Braves' sake, I am wrong. But if they do not win the division, we may have to look at that 3-game stretch. What you got, Red?
Let me give a special shout out to our pitchers. You're right, because Freed went to bed on Tuesday, but Kyle Wright, Major League leading 17th win, came back and shut him down on Wednesday. And Spencer Strider, 16 strikeouts. What more can you say about this rookie? If it weren't for Junior Harris, he'd be the runaway rookie of the year. But I think Junior Harris is going to get it because he plays more. He plays the more position playing he plays every day.
And and the kid who is not my son hit 2 home runs in 2 games. So I'm loving it. His stick is really going real well right now. Coach, you got anything to add on this Braves report before we move on?
Has Mari Povich contacted you yet?
No, man. I don't believe in coming in once kids make their mark. I had to be in there from the beginning, so I can't claim them right now. So that's why Michael Jackson is my mantra. And the kid is not my son.
That's very admirable, real. I wish a lot of dads would do that. Say, man, I didn't raise the man. I don't care if he's successful and got lots of money. I didn't raise him, so I'm not trying to get a handout. I'm going to stay away. You better take Red's advice, some of you deadbeat dads.
All right.
No, hold on. Not calling Red. Not calling Red a deadbeat dad. Red is not a deadbeat dad.
I get what you're saying. If you can't be with a child through the process, don't try to be with them when they prosper. I totally get it. All right, let's move on to another hot topic. Serena bows out gracefully at the U.S. Open. She advanced to the 3rd round. The young lady last night who I referred to during my dope moment, she played excellent tennis, but Serena showed the heart of a lion and a champion, even down in the last set, 5 games to 1. She made that last game one to remember, fighting off match point 4 or 5 times before she wound up surrendering to the young lady from Great Britain, I believe. Nevertheless,
I think she's from Australia.
Australia, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. Australia. So, Coach, since you're a PE teacher, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about Serena Williams' play in the U.S. Open? And then let's just talk her legacy. People are identifying her as the GOAT. Do you agree? What are your thoughts, Coach?
Well, you look at her playing, and you could start to see, I guess, her, what's the word for it? Stamina start to fade a little bit, and the young lady didn't take it easy on her. She's like, okay, you Serena, but I'm trying to win. And she stayed at her butt. Excuse me. That last point you were talking about was epic. Neither one of them wanted to lose that point, and they just kept going back and forth. Deuce advantage. But if you're going to call Serena the GOAT, you look at like overall wins in not U.S. Open and Grand Slam events, she's right up there. It's hard to argue that she's not the GOAT.
All right, so Coach is straddling a little bit. He says he hadn't really made a definitive statement. So this is the Red and Red Sports Show. We take definitive comments. Is she the GOAT or not, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Coach says she's the GOAT. We'll go to Armani real quickly. Young Buck, what you got to say on this topic, Young Buck?
I mean, she's a 23-time Grand Slam singles champion. I mean, she's the GOAT, in my opinion. I mean, she's just revolutionized the game. She's been in it for a long time, doing her thing. So, I mean, how can you not say she's not the GOAT? That's all I got to say.
All right. Short and sweet. What you got, Red? I know you got a little bit more that you can add on.
You ain't lying either. Short and sweet. And you talking about she the GOAT, Coach and already. She the GOAT, but I ain't got but 2 minutes worth of stuff to say about her. Wow. Some GOAT. Anyway, man, this has just been a remarkable something to see this week. I mean, like I say, Serena playing in the U.S. Open this week has really made this sports week, the week before NFL season kicked back off, Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Serena, for giving us this. Thank you, sweetie. Well. Just from her U.S. Open performance alone, I mean, what more can you say about this girl out there wheeling and dealing, match point after match point, love, deuce, ace, point, match point. I mean, the girl is just out there all on the ground, falling to the ground, messing up them pretty knees, messing up an outfit. Yeah, so she just don't quit. It is no quitting her. The fire, the passion that this girl goes to compete with, she is just one of the most we're gonna look at her one of the best competitive athletes of all time, and much love and praise to her as far as her career. She's been doing it since the age of what, 17, 18. Got her first win in 1999. Wow, 1999. That was before I went to California. I ain't know she been doing it that long, but man, I guess she have. And up to now, from age 17 to 40, such a remarkable career, Serena, and to be an African American woman from Compton, California, to dominate the game of tennis that was mostly a white sport. I mean, you never heard about any black people playing in tennis until well, no, you did. You had Arthur Ashe, you had Althea Gibson, but just to take it to the next level, what Serena Williams did for the game of tennis is just extraordinary. I mean, she has women all over, not over the country, not all over the country, all over the world looking up to her. A young black woman from Compton, California has women all over the world looking up to her. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And like you say, her career is one of the GOATs. As far as tennis goes, she is definitely the GOAT of tennis. I mean, with all due respect to John McEnroe, the other Andy Roddick, Nadal, Billie Jean King, Kim Clijsters, all the other tennis greats that come before her. I'm sorry, Serena is the GOAT. Did you see the type of people, what type of levels of passion and emotion that this woman emerges from fans just watching her play? I don't remember John McEnroe having people out there crying when he played. He was crying more than the fans was. I don't remember some of these other tennis greats having the emotion and just packed arenas like Serena has. Serena is the GOAT. And I'm pretty sure all those other tennis greats in the past will agree. As far as sports-wise, I'm not going to say she's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, but she is definitely one of our great athletes of all time. One of them. Not the GOAT, but one of them. There's just too many great athletes in too many sports across the dial to just say she's the greatest. But she is definitely one of them. And when you talk about great athletes, I dare you ever have a conversation about great athletes and don't mention the name Serena Williams. God bless you, Serena. Good luck. Thank you for giving us everything you've given us over the years. We praise you, we support you, and we love you.
So let me ask you all this question before I give my take. What are you all classifying to be the benchmark for why she's the GOAT? Are you saying total Grand Slam wins? Are you talking about impact on the game? You know, you all have definitively said she's the GOAT. So how are you all making the statement? You know, are you saying because she overcame probably more adversity than any other tennis player coming from Compton? You know, help me understand why are you all classifying her as the GOAT?
Well, you pretty much said it all.
Yeah,
you said she's a young black woman coming from company, defying the odds, all of the championships and accomplishments she won. The championships and accomplishments alone.
Yeah.
I mean, then, like you say, defying the odds. Yeah, I mean, you have to consider all that when you're saying she's the GOAT, especially the GOAT of tennis.
So let me just say this now. She doesn't have the all-time Grand Slams win list. She's one under.
Nope.
She's one under. She has 23. Someone else had 24, but that person who is ahead of her play years ago. All right. She doesn't have the singles record for wins, just flat out wins. I'm going to lean toward calling her the GOAT, while it's not as strong for me as it may be for you all. I recognize what she's done for the game. Both she and her sister, because as she stated yesterday, if there were no Venus Williams, there'd probably be no Serena Williams. All right. And I think both of them helped each other out, because I don't know how many other tennis partners Serena would have been able to play with in Compton if she didn't have a sister. All right. But the reason why I raise it is because I do remember Martina Navratilova, and she was somebody's tennis player. And the reason why I struggled a little bit, even though I'm saying Serena is the GOAT, who was Serena's biggest nemesis?
Maria Sharapova.
And that was short-lived.
Yeah.
At one point in time, it might have been her sister.
Yeah.
But that was short-lived. Martina had to deal with the era of Chris Everett Lloyd. And Chris Everett Lloyd is one of the greatest to ever do it as well. So, that's why I struggle, because Serena not only had longevity, but she never had that nemesis that could compete with her over a long duration of time. And some of her best competitors never were able to sustain any longevity of greatness like she was able to sustain.
Not like her.
Yeah.
Isn't that a testament of how great maybe she really is?
I can't say that. I can't.
Real, you like to look at the competition.
Yeah, I like to look at the competition, because anybody in Serena's era, will we say that they're one of the greatest ever? Like Martina Hingis had a little run. Are we putting her up there as one of the greatest to ever play? No. Lindsay Davenport had a little run. Are we putting her up as one of the greatest to ever play?
I forgot about her.
No, so that's the only knock that I would say, is that, because even in men's tennis, you got Federer and Nadal. They both have sustained a level of greatness over the years.
Yeah.
And then you got the dude now, Djanovic, or whatever his name is, the tall guy. What's his name? Djanovic or something like that. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Djokovic.
There we go.
Djokovic, whatever his name is. But
I'm glad y'all knew, because I did.
He's sustaining a level of greatness as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that bothers me about the Serena era, is that she didn't really have a nemesis, somebody else great to compete against her for a good duration of time, like Martina Navratilova had, to compete against Chris Everett Lloyd, like Nadal and Federer in the men's bracket, so forth and so on. So that was the only point that I wanted to make. But I will say that I will go ahead on and give her GOAT status, more so because she defied the odds, and then also of the global impact that she's had on the game.
Hey, real, like your old President Abe Lincoln said, we are the times that we born in. This is the time that you was born in. So we can't penalize them for it.
Okay, I didn't never think we would have an Abe Lincoln reference, but okay, that was
Well,
on point.
I just saw the movie on HBO Max last week, so.
Don't they say the same thing about Bill Russell?
Well, you can even say LeBron up in here.
You said they say the same thing about Bill Russell. That's why Bill Russell is not considered the GOAT.
Yeah.
No competition.
Yeah.
What about LeBron? Look at the time he played in as compared to the time when Jordan.
It's closer. It's a little bit more. It's closer than that. Yeah.
Because I was just giving an example.
No. That's a good thing to bring up, and this is why
Never know.
I struggle with the Jordan being the GOAT piece because LeBron is being knocked for playing against teams that were far better than the team that he was on. Michael Jordan never played on a Bulls team that was the underdog when he played in the finals.
Never.
He always had the third best player on his team.
Yep.
Always. And when you talk about LeBron being criticized with 6 finals losses, this dude, as I was watching NBA TV when I was in Atlanta this past week, he was in the NBA finals playing on the court in meaningful minutes, having Daniel Gibson, Damon Jones, Anderson Varejao, and Danielle Marshall.
Whoa.
It ain't NBA Finals game.
Now,
Come on, man. When did Michael Jordan ever be on the court with some trash like that?
And you know what?
The scrubs that Kobe played with.
No. Kobe didn't go to the NBA Finals playoffs. Lamar Odom was no scrub. Stop.
I'm talking about the scrubs he played with after he got rid of Shaq.
I'm talking about the NBA Finals. Pau Gasol was no scrub.
No scrub.
Was no scrub.
Andrew Bynum was no scrub.
No scrub. Because Kobe won nothing. Nothing. Until Pau got
down, fellas. I didn't say nothing about the finals roster, even though that 09 finals roster was trash.
Look at the other roster. Look at the other roster.
It wasn't as trash as the Cleveland roster. It wasn't as trash as the Cleveland roster.
That last Cleveland team he took, Kevin Love, we know is trash. Right?
Yeah, he is now.
Kevin Love, Jordan Clarkson. I mean, look at it. Mike ain't never took no team like that to the finals.
Really? I don't know. I still shout LeBron got that garbage team to the finals. Really? Lord have mercy. That let you know the week was easy.
It's a testament to his
I'm coming through the screen.
Come through the screen then. He's trash with a capital T.
He was just weak. He was just weak, man.
Well, yeah, I don't buy that argument because the Detroit Pistons, when LeBron beat them, had just won the championship 2 years ago. And then let's not forget when Mike finally broke through against the Detroit Pistons after losing to them 3 years in a row in the playoffs. He finally beat them and swept them when the Pistons were old. We forget that now.
He had to wait.
Hey,
Bill Laimbeer retired the next season.
How old was Bill Wallace and Chauncey Billups? Them guys got gray hair now.
But they weren't that old.
They weren't that old.
They were getting there.
They was coming off a championship run.
Oh, lucky championship run. Nobody thought they were going to beat my Lakers. Nobody thought they were going to beat my Lakers. How many people took them in that 04 series? They didn't even shock you, Armani. I bet you was surprised they beat us.
All right, man. Yeah.
Hey, I like it, y'all. This is fun.
And Rex makes a good point, too, in the rule changes because Jordan played in the era where it was just straight one-on-one basketball. Imagine if they played one-on-one basketball, how many folk could really defend LeBron with that body on?
Nobody.
It wouldn't even be fair.
Not in his prime. Not in his prime.
Now, they could play zone now to neutralize him. You know, so that's a real good point as well. All right, Red, since you brought it up, before we go to halftime, let's get into the conversation. The top 5 athletes ever.
Okay. I guess I got to get
5 athletes ever.
Okay. I already got mine written down.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't get a chance to really think about it, so I'm not even gonna freestyle. All right. So I'm gonna bow out of this one gracefully because I didn't think about it. And Alexis makes a good point. Yeah, the 2011 finals where he lost against the Dallas Mavericks. I have to agree with that. All right, and her sister Dana said 2-minute warning. She been on the 2-minute warning. All right. So Red is commenting to somebody because his camera just flipped. So we'll start with Coach. Coach.
Red froze.
We'll let him come back in just a bit.
Okay.
All right. Top 5 athletes ever. We know Kareem is on there, so Kareem.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Kareem can't be on there.
What 4 others?
He's in good shape, but he's not on there.
Okay.
I'm not putting him in order.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put top 5. I'll go with Usain Bolt.
Track star.
Can't argue with that. How about here's a shocker, Muhammad Ali. Friends, but hey, he's up there. Of course, they're gonna put Jordan because of what he needed. Jim Thorpe, who played in it.
Jim Thorpe. Wow.
He played a long time. He could be. He's on the outside. Let me put it that way. And you know my number one. I don't know why you had to guess my number one, Rev.
Russell Westbrook.
No, sir. No, sir. You know he's a good athlete. No, sir.
Oh, man.
No number one, Rev.
Who is that?
I went to school with him.
Oh, Jerry Rice.
Thank you.
All
Jerry Rice.
Okay. All right. Coach's top 5. How y'all spell Thorpe? Thorpe or what?
Yep, that's it.
All right. So I'm gonna scroll coach's top 5. All right. Red is back. All right.
Oh, take Thorpe out. I'm sorry. Put in Bo Jackson. Take Thorpe out. Bo Jackson.
All right. I got you, Red. Hold on. Let me put up coach's thing. Bo Jackson. All right. So we got coach's top 5. Bo. You got Bo, Ali, Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Jerry Rice.
Not bad. Not bad.
Hold on. I'm going to have to come back to you. I'm going to be a constructive critic right here with you all's top 5 because I got issues with one of them. All right. Okay. Armani, what you got? Top 5.
I got Michael Jordan number 1.
Now, Armani, give everybody your age, please, so people understand your context.
I'm 26, y'all. So I'm
so
going with probably a few people in my era, and then a few people in the era before me.
All right, go with it.
For me,
you got Jordan,
Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and the GOAT of boxing in my era, Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather?
Wow.
What? Oh my God, Mayweather
in my era.
I know, but I know with the duck and run, he had to be an athlete to duck and run like he does, and then come back and hit people late in the round. I'm just playing. I will leave Floyd alone. Mr. I can't count.
Armani went straight his era. And Coach, you see how he kept on stressing my era.
Yeah, he did. He hit his chest a couple times.
My era.
I like how you hit your chest.
I had to get somebody at least 2 people in my era.
His era. Look at. Okay.
Give vote.
All right. So Armani said Jordan, Serena, Tiger, LeBron, and Mayweather. Coach got Bo, Ali, Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Jerry Rice. All right, Red. Top 5. What you got?
Okay. I'm starting from number 5 and working up.
So you put them in order.
Yeah, from 5 up to 1?
Yeah, nobody. You can do that. Coach was scared to do it, so you show Coach how to do it.
Yeah, that way I say the top one for last. Starting out of course, I have to say I'm an 80s baby. 42 years old, 1980. That's my era. Just have to get that on the record, like our money did.
Real shut up.
Okay. Number 5, Deion Sanders. Number 4, Serena Williams. Number 3, Kobe Bryant. Number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 1, Tiger Woods.
Wow. All right. So Red's top 5. Prime time number 5. Number 4, Serena. Number 3, Kobe. I should have put Kobe instead of Bryant. 2, Jeter. And number 1, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods. Now, Coach, Actually, Red brought up the name that I would think you would put in front of Bo Jackson.
Uh-oh.
And that would be Prime Time.
Yeah.
Because Prime had a better football career than Bo Jackson, even though Bo may have had a slightly better baseball career than Deion. But
I don't remember in the World Series
but
that he played.
football wise, it wasn't even close.
But wait a minute, you slightly better. Bo Jackson hit 30-something home run. He was able to play the outfield where Deion stole bases. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bo
Deion
Jackson
did a little
did
bit
not.
of something.
Let's be reminded. This is why I say slightly better. Bo Jackson might have had 2 to 3 great years as a baseball player. He didn't have any longevity. So that's why I'm only saying slightly better, because Deion had some good years with the Braves, nowhere near those numbers that Bo had. And then Deion also had some decent years with the Cincinnati Reds as well.
And the Yankees.
And yeah, a couple of runs with the Yankees. Football is not even close, because Prime dominated his position for over a decade.
Yep.
Well, Vincent hurt his hip. That he could have gone on to be great, but he got hurt, and that took away a lot of what he was.
I agree. So that's why I'm saying, because of injury,
Yeah.
I don't understand how you had Bo Jackson over Prime Time. But since
Well,
they both did the same
just for
thing.
what Bo Jackson did as an athlete, and then and did Deion break a bat over his leg? No.
Oh Lord.
So now we're bringing in antics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Bo climbing walls and everything. Bo was a pure athlete. Like I said, that hip injury ended what could have been really a top 5 career for him as far as football, and could have been baseball, because Bo was a man now.
All right. See, now we're gonna have to ban. Whose friend is Rex?
Man.
All right, we're gonna have to ban him from the show.
What he said?
He's starting to try to be funny. Now this is one I'm not gonna get on him for this one, because this is a good one. Jackie Joyner Kersee. She was the truth.
Well, that's Maurice right there.
Yeah, Maurice. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Rex goes with Jerry. I'm not gonna hold him down for that one. FloJo, she was one of the best. It's argued. We have to argue, did she do it legit though? You know, that's one thing we got to ask.
With them fingernails.
Yeah. Then this is a good one from Rex. I ain't going to get him on for the Jim Brown, because the dude, I ain't never known anybody to dominate football and lacrosse. Because if you go to his Syracuse days, that joker was an All-American in lacrosse. And black dudes did not do that. I could see why, because lacrosse has a lot of things in the game that resemble football. I didn't realize that until I went to go see 2 of my members at my current church play lacrosse. They play lacrosse at LaSalle.
Hey,
And,
Coach,
I was amazed at some of the skills that carry over from football to lacrosse. Now, Rex, this is where we start having problems.
Now, that's a good one.
Dave Winfield, come on, man.
He played 2 sports.
Yeah.
He wasn't Barry Bonds.
Dave Winfield played basketball and baseball. Did he dominate in basketball?
I don't know. He didn't play. He stuck with baseball. He didn't go to the basketball. He stuck with baseball.
we know a lot of folk who played sports in high school, multiple sports in high school. I mean,
Dave Winfield was a good home run.
But Ainge, come on, man. He had a
he wasn't even better than Barry Bonds.
He had a short run. We talk about folk who actually made it. You know, this is where he just pulling out folk who played 2 sports. Come on, man. Danny Ainge didn't play no sport. No. Well, he had a small minor league career, but he was trash.
Danny Ainge. Are we talking about good front office executives? Are we athletes?
Yeah, these folk, we understand. Like if that's the case, then we might as well put Kyler Murray up there. Kyler Murray was drafted in the first round in baseball.
Rex, we talking about great athletes, man. Just stop naming these little athletes you come up with. Great athletes.
Kevin, check this one out. Kevin Keller said Steve Nash.
Yeah. Dave Winfield did get drafted by the Hawks.
Okay. He didn't play though. He never
And
played for him.
he stuck with baseball.
Rex said T.O.
Uh,
Charlie Ward.
he was a top athlete, but not topper than the ones. I mean, the ones that we mentioned, he's not gonna go above them, but he was definitely a top athlete.
All right. Willie Butler says Bo Jackson. Rex is defending his Ainge comment because Ainge was drafted. We got a lot of folk who were drafted with better athletes.
He wasn't a top athlete though, Rick. What did he dominate in? He was a bench rider with the Celtics when he won his ring, and he's more known for his front office.
He wasn't a bench rider, Red. He was their shooting guard, starting shooting guard.
Okay, but
he
not
wasn't a
put him
star.
over.
He wasn't a star.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't a star, and we're not putting him over some of the other top shooting guards in the NBA. I can think of about 20 more NBA shooting guards who will take over him. So you can't say he's the top athlete in his era. Sorry, Rick. You're not getting Danny Ainge, dude.
All right, 2 more comments from Revenite Nation, then we got to move on. Maurice Throw says, in my opinion, Jackie Jonah Curse, Martina Navratilova, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Wilt Chamberlain. So basically, Maurice is saying Serena is not the GOAT.
Ooh.
If he put Martina Navratilova up there.
Maurice is showing his age.
Yeah, for real. I don't even know who that is.
Nah, she was a beast.
She was good.
She was a beast.
She was a terror on the
She was a beast.
She was whooping jokers left and right. All them old schoolers, she was whooping all of them, laughing at them.
Yeah, like she was a beast. Like I was a
Charles
Chris
Haley,
Lloyd fan,
Kevin.
and I used to hate when she would go up against Martina Navratilova because Martina just wiped the court up with her oftentimes. Kevin Kelly says Charles Haley.
Biscuit.
Right,
he got more Super Bowl rings than everybody, but he's not a top athlete. He's not. I wouldn't even put him as one of the top pass rushers.
He'd be better off saying Alex Haley. Come on, man.
Would you take Richard White? You take Richard White over him when you coach?
No doubt about it. The Minister of Defense, no doubt about it. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna pause right there. That was good conversation, and we thank you all for your participation. Thank you, Reverend Knight, for your participation as well.
We'll finish it up on my page, y'all. Keep the names coming.
It is officially halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. We've given you some good sports talk. We talked a little bit about Serena. We talked a little about Braves report. We got some more basketball coming up, college football coming up, pro football coming up. You all want to stay with your boys, Red Rev Coach and Armani, for the second half of the Red and Rev Sports Show, getting ready to come to you after halftime. We'll be right back. And we are back on the Red and Rev Sports Show. And I don't know what happened to Armani, but we're 3 out of the 4 back. Armani just sat down. We'll bring him in. All right.
There you go.
All right. This is what we're going to have to do real quickly. I didn't see it on the plan, and I forgot. Coach. Got caught slipping, man. It is that time for us to do an HBCU report, man. We give our love
Yep.
to black colleges around these parts.
And if them high school folk keep talking junk to me and Rev, we're gonna do a high school report 2 weeks, especially when Doug lose.
All right, so we're going to do this HBCU report. I went into the lab and I found this HBCU pick beat. We'll feature bands across the HBCU circles during the course of this season. But I found this little beat that I liked a little bit as we get into this HBCU report. Let y'all listen to it. Nothing like a good HBCU band to start.
I know, Rev. You made me drop my strawberry listening to that.
All right, let's get into this report right quick, Coach. I want you to read off the SWAC and MEAC. I'll do the CIAA.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Tell us who's playing.
All right, we got Alabama A&M who played against UAB, and they kind of didn't play, but hey, they were out there. They lost 59-0. My alma mater, Mississippi Valley State, lost to Charleston State 29-13. Our running backs, I'm proud of. They gained over 200 yards combined. We got to work on our quarterback. All right, today, Saturday, September 3rd, Bethune-Cookman is going for a money shot against 16th ranked Miami, Florida, who's supposed to be improved this year. Miles College is playing Alabama State. Grambling going against Arkansas State, excuse me. Stephen F. Austin is going to Alcorn down to the reservation to play Alcorn State. Florida Memorial, never heard of them, going to play Southern, where Red's money went.
No doubt.
Texas Southern is going to play Prairie View. That's going to be a classic matchup down in the Lone Star State. Lane College going against UAPB. And Sunday, September 4th, get your TV, your fine-tune your apparatus, because Florida A&M and Jackson State, the matchup of the ineligible versus the waterlogged, ladies and gentlemen. Those two are going to play each other down in the booth down in Miami at 3 o'clock on ESPN2. Make sure you watch that game, because the winner looks like the one who's going to step out and be in the lead for the SWAC championship. All right, in the MEAC, South Carolina State played Central Florida, and Central Florida came over to 56-10 victory. If you haven't seen what South Carolina State punter did on his video, you got to watch it. It's SportsCenter #1 highlight, ladies and gentlemen. You got to see it. Saturday, today, Lincoln, Pennsylvania plays Delaware State. Norfolk State is playing Marshall. Howard is playing Hampton. That's going to be a good matchup. Morgan State goes against Georgia Southern. And one of the battles of North Carolina A&T, the Aggies, going up against North Carolina Central.
All righty. Thank you, Coach. And I'm going to have to apologize to the Division II schools that are HBCUs. Wasn't able to get those schedules up where it could be presentable. So we will have the CIAA and SIAC along with the MEAC and SWAC next week. So we're going to show love to Red's mother's alma mater, Fort Valley, and my alma mater, Morehouse, next week when we give the HBC report. Can we get a little bit more of that beat right quick? HBCU, baby. All right, man, let's move on, man. Armani, you don't know nothing about that. They don't do that in Alabama.
I had a few cousins going to South Carolina State. I'd have been to State. I'd have been to Clap. I'd have been all down there, you know.
Okay, Joe Black say he gets to see Morehouse and Clark in Jacksonville this year. What's the date on that, man? I might have to take a small trip up to Jacksonville Let me know. Let me know. Maurice Thrower giving up big ups to the Orange Blossom Classic tomorrow in his home city of Miami, Florida A&M, and Jackson State. Yeah, I got you, Maurice. I got you. And it's their second year playing football. And that game was not a great game, but it was a close game last year. Jackson State beat Florida A&M 7-6. So we'll see if they put some more points on the board next year. But again, we'll include the CIAA and the SIAC next week, showing them some love along with the MEAC and the SWAC, because the MEAC and the SWAC, they are the D1 HBCUs. Those in the CIAA and SIAC are the Division II HBCUs. But nevertheless, we're going to show them some love in the weeks to come. All right, gentlemen. Before we get to the college football preview, let's go ahead on and do our 5 for 5. Here we go. 5
that's
for
bad.
5. We're bringing it back. We got 5 on it. 5, 4, 5. During this segment, we give each of these guys 1 minute max to talk about whatever the subject matter is at hand. Once they get to speak, with 45 seconds with the solo shot. After that solo shot is taken away to a group shot, that is the indicator for the fellas to know you only got 15 seconds to continue on with your conversation. And as Red can attest to, after those 15 seconds are gone, you will get muted. I know Red can give me a witness right there.
Yes, and I will not be muted today. I hope.
So that means he will be through in 1 minute. In other words, that's what he's saying, because the mute button will be in effect after 1 minute. We got to crank up the music, even though the VP is not here. Yes, sir. We're going to start with Jimmy G staying in San Francisco to not be the starter, but be the backup for one trade. Lance. Let's start with Armani. What you got, brother?
I mean, honestly, let's be real. Kyle Shanahan, I get it. I know what you're trying to do, man. I get it. You don't have faith in Trey Lance. So you want to go back, re-sign Jimmy G just in case Trey Lance don't work out. You're trying to cover up, you mess up and justify you jumping from, what was it? I think 14th to 3rd over my Falcons to pick up Trey Lance. I don't know, man. You might have messed it up. You might have messed it up for yourself this time, brother. But we'll see. We don't know. We'll see. But we know why you did it, and that's exactly why you did it. Because, hey, you don't trust him.
Coach, what you got?
Jimmy G coming back to the 49ers. Yeah, I'm like Armani. I got me a nice little backup plan when Trey Lance does not do well. So that Jimmy G sitting on the sideline like, yeah, I am, coach. I'm ready. Yeah, I am. Remember I took you to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I am. So Trey Lance is looking over his shoulder now, trying to figure out, am I going to be able to stay if I have a bad game? Stay tuned.
Red, what you got?
I got nothing but disdain and turmoil for Kyle Shanahan. I hope it blow up in his face like everything else. I don't know why this guy continues to get credit after credit for these bonehead moves. I mean, you should have been traded Jimmy G away. He's still on your staff. Like our money coach said, you ain't got that much faith in Trey. Because if you did, Jimmy would have been long gone. But nah, he's still there, which means you don't have that much faith in Trey, but you ain't got that much faith in Jimmy either. You don't even have that much faith in your GM. So look, I hope in the end this all blows up in Kyle's face and he can be on the losing stick. But anyway it goes, nothing but dysfunction in the 49ers team, and I love it. I love dysfunction in the 49ers life and Kyle's life too.
All right, gentlemen, no comments so far from Revenite Nation. Quick question for you all. These are short takes. Will Jimmy G be the starting quarterback before the end of the season? Start with Red says yes. Armani?
Yes.
Armani says yes. Coach?
No.
No! You don't only know why no, Coach?
Because he probably going to get traded somewhere before long. They'll find somebody to get him.
Only if somebody get hurt, coach.
Somebody take it.
Dolphins follow.
And he may not get traded because if Trey Lance starts off 0-2, Jimmy G might be the starting quarterback.
Say bye, coach.
All right, let's move on.
Miami, they need to start a quarterback.
They do.
That's what I'm saying. Jimmy G.
Here we go, gentlemen. John Gruden, Chucky, as some people know him, apologized but didn't apologize this past week for his.
You got that right.
We know that he had different statements that he had made in emails about African Americans, and then he went on in a press conference as he was a keynote speaker at one of these football organizations, and basically said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not the only one that's done some things. I go to church, I feed the poor, and so forth." So, what are your thoughts about John Gruden speaking out? We'll start this time with Coach. You got 5 on it. Let's get ready to go. You're on, Coach.
AAC, hug and counseling. I don't have to say anything else for John. Bye.
Red, what you got?
Man, like I said earlier this week, somebody really got to work on this guy's apologies. I ain't never heard an apology like, I'm sorry for what I did. It was very shameful. But, hey, I'm a good guy. I go to church. I'm married for 30 plus years. I got 3 good boys. And I just want to. That's just like you cheat on your girl and said, well, baby, I cheated. You caught me. But hey, let's look at the good side of things. We had some good times. We got kids. I'm a good person. We go to church every Sunday. You know me, baby. I just want another shot. Can I get it? No, Chucky, you're not getting another shot. No, and take that garbage apology and stuff it. That was one of the weirdest apologies I ever witnessed.
Coach, what?
Armani.
Yeah. Armani, I'm sorry. What you got?
John, nobody's buying this, man. Nobody's buying it. You know how many races are in the pulpit every Sunday, even at church? You have no idea, man, and you are one of them. So let's not go on here and try and, cover it. No, man. We seeing who you are and what you are. No matter how bad you try to justify it, it ain't cool, man. Stay away from the NFL. You had the chance. You blew it. That's all I got.
Armani with the quote of the day. Do you know how many races there are in the pulpit? I can say amen to that. That was dope. Yes, sir.
Armani finally gave us a classic quote.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Dana Bricker says facts. Maurice Thor said John Gruden just go
stay
away. Real quickly before we move on, quick question. Do you think John Gruden will ever coach not just pro football, but will he get a job possibly in college football? What are your thoughts?
Real, I thought about that. He's definitely out in NFL. Now, I thought about college. I thought maybe one of these lower tier D3 schools, maybe just a small school. But even still, like Keyshawn said, you still got to have these. He still got to go in the house and sell to these parents. No matter how small the school is, you still got to sell to these parents, especially black parents, yourself. And if they know anything about you, those racist emails, those homophobic emails, dude, we are in a new day and time. Even folks in small towns can get the information, John Gruden. It would be tough. But if it's anywhere he'd go, it would have to be to a small type of college. No big-time D1 program. Definitely no NFL job. I don't know, NFL Europe or Arena League still around?
All right, Armani, you agree with Red?
I agree. I mean, he's not going to get another job in the NFL. In college, you can go to Yale, Princeton.
Oh, do you think Yale won?
Harvard, where someone like one black athlete and you got to explain, hey, mama, I know I said.
Oh, well, yeah. Good point. He might be accepted in one of those racist schools.
No, you're not. No, I just don't see it happening, man. How can you go into a locker room and explain yourself and be like, you know what, I messed up. No, that's some stuff you just can't come back from. That's one of them.
Hey,
Coach,
Armani,
to close
what
out,
about
come
BYU?
up. Coach,
Oh yeah, BYU. Shoot, I love it.
Coach. Will he coach again?
He'll be back. Yep. I'm gonna tell you why. Did y'all look on Fox the other night and see who's doing the broadcast?
Who?
Yeah, Urban.
Ding ding ding. Urban Meyer back.
No, that's broadcast. We're talking about coaching.
Yeah. I mean the redemption quality gonna kick in. He gonna beg somebody enough, and they gonna say, "Yeah, wow, he coached before. He's a great guy."
Is Urban Meyer a racist, or did he just?
Man, please. They're dragging back somewhere. Wait till it's over. Let it blow over.
But Urban Meyer, it's kind of a little different.
All right, let's move on, gentlemen. We're gonna move on to a little bit of basketball, and we'll start with Red's team, Jeannie Buss.
Oh, okay.
She says, and I don't quote, but remember what she said, that Russell Westbrook was the best Laker last year during the season. Red, it's on you.
Woo!
What you got, Red?
Yeah, and then she switched up after she thought about it, come back and gave a real statement, which was the true statement that he was the most consistent player this season. Not the best, just the one that showed up every day. Thank you, Jeannie, for getting it right. Because, boy, we was finna really have you drug tested, sweetie. We was finna have our Lakers owner put in a doggone nut house for making that statement right there. The best player on our team? Are you kidding me? But like I say, Real, luckily she came back, retracted that statement, and gave the real statement. And that is Russell just showed up every day. He was consistently in showing up every day. But he wasn't the best player on the team. Thanks, Jeannie. You finally got it right.
Coach. Armani, I'm sorry.
Well, y'all know what I'm about to say. You know, my favorite quote of all time. Denial ain't just a river in Egypt. Really? He shows up to work every day. Okay, cool. But the best player on the team? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not even, maybe number 3. You know what I mean? But no. I mean, you tried to cover it up and say he's the most consistent player, but I mean, if I'm paying you millions of dollars, the least you can do is show up to work every day. That's the least you can do. So that's my take on it.
Coach! Do not show the acts of faith emblem, please. Thank you. What you guys say, man?
Good job, Real.
We need more comments.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook plays for the Lakers.
And what else?
Never mind. Let's just move on. Let's move on.
You know the truth. You know the truth.
I don't want to get called out of my name. So moving on.
No, man, we're not gonna do that.
We ain't gonna do that.
Your real thoughts about what Jeannie said.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, tell us.
Come on, man.
He was consistent. He showed up more than everybody.
Okay.
Well, he agrees with Jeannie.
Yeah, we agree with that.
Yeah, thanks, Coach, for agreeing with Jeannie. He showed up every day, and that's all he did.
Q's theme for the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Joe Black said, "Hold on, Coach. We'll come back to you. Jeannie, stay off the weed." Dana Brickers with a hand slap over the head. All right, and then for that awkward statement, Q's the Twilight Zone. All right, now what do you got to say now, Coach?
Yeah, I mean he was the second or third best player on the team.
Okay,
That's
all right.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
We'll give him that.
We'll give him that.
We heard some big news.
Third
I alluded
best.
to it earlier in the show. Donovan Mitchell does not go to New York, but he goes to Cleveland. Armani, it's on you. Your cousin was involved in the trade. He's going to Utah.
Salt Lake City, baby.
Cleveland did not believe Colin was the future, but rather a trade piece. What you got to say about that Armani, as I cue the music up, what you got, Armani? You're on the clock.
I mean, I'm gonna try and be as not biased as I can be, but I mean, Cleveland, you're not going to the finals. Not with just that. You gave up too much. You got Garland, and now you got Mitchell. Who's your three? You don't. I mean, you might be the fifth or sixth best team in the East, but not with that alone. You're not going nowhere. Collins going to Utah. You know, I don't know what to make of that. Really, I'm still having mixed emotions about it, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. He's coming off an injury, and then we'll see what he can give Utah. So we shall see.
Coach.
There are several, and I call it several, Mitchell ice cream shops in Cleveland. I'll leave it at that because he's not going to be successful in Cleveland. If they think he's the answer to a title, then I don't know what they're thinking. And I don't know what Utah is thinking, but neither one is any closer to a championship after the trade.
Red.
I mean, I don't know now, you guys. I think y'all guys are selling Cleveland a little short. I mean, they did have a okay season last year. They do have a couple of young pieces in Garland, and they still got that big center with the afro. There's one more player they got that I can't think of right now. But adding Mitchell, what you say, Rev?
Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley. Okay, Garland and Mobley plus Jared Allen, and you add Mitchell to this? Now, come on now. This team ain't going to be just trash now. I think they'll be better with Mitchell than Utah be with Sexton. So if you ask me who got the better of the deal, I would say the Cavs. And I think the Hawks got another team to worry about in the East. If Mitchell come over there rejuvenated and balling, I mean, it's not like I say, he has size in the front court. He can handle the back court with scoring. So I'm not gonna act like this is a poo-poo move for the Cavs. This is maybe a good move for the Cavs, and I'll see how this season play out. But I'm not crapping on the Cavs for this move because this might be a good move for them.
I have to definitely agree with Red's take. Like, we are poo-pooing on a team that already showed some promise last year. They were a wild card away or play-in away, getting into the playoffs, and then you add a proven player such as Donovan Mitchell, who has playoff experience. He was the major cog for the Utah Jazz advancing as far as they have advanced over the past 2 years. And you put him alongside Jared Allen, who's a dominant big man, especially on defense, can score when he needs to score, can block shots, rebound with Evan Mobley, who's a bona fide scorer, and then Garland, who's a solid piece. Don't sleep on the Cavs, man. Don't sleep on the
Ricky
Cavs.
Rubio.
Armani is sleeping because he might have to do as Maurice Thrower just suggested. Go ahead on, order that Jazz jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Armani, you don't want to visit your cousin in Salt Lake. Get on that plane and go visit your cousin.
He don't want to have to go by BYU. That's why he mad.
He said it. He said it.
Oh, Lord. I mean,
you don't have to go to that school. Just drive past it, Armani.
Listen,
you can go over there and say, "Hey, the racist."
to Utah one time. I have if Colin went there, I would have no interest in going back. Trust me.
I mean, you got Ricky. I mean, you got Rudy Gobert. Oh, he gone.
He gone.
You got Donovan. Oh, no, he gone. Joe. No, he hurt.
They can have Russell Westbrook if they want to.
Russell Westbrook and Colin, butt heads. That wouldn't work.
Oh man! All right. Well, some folk are suggesting that the Lakers may be in the hunt for one of Utah's shooters.
I'll take anybody.
Bogan Bogdanovic.
Anybody.
Bogdanovic.
That joker can shoot the rock. So if there is a trade,
he's a good shooter. He is
Russell
a good
Westbrook
shooter.
would probably be one who would be involved in that kind of trade. So we'll
I
see.
don't understand. Don't one of these teams want to get that salary cap space next year? You got $47 million coming off the books. Get this guy. Come on. We'll take anybody. Anybody.
Dana Brickus is on the red train in terms of Mitchell going to Cleveland. No doubt about it. He's accompanying some players already in place.
Whatever.
Improve. All right, last one. 5-5. There's a shakeup in college football. We're moving from 4 teams to 12 teams coming soon. What are your thoughts, Coach? We're going to start with you as you got 5 on it. Let's do it, Coach.
It increases the chances of 2 things: a possible upset and a possible team becoming dominant. If you got a team in there that say they're the truth, prove it and beat all those teams. But I smell upsets coming out of that 12. And who knows? It makes college football a little more interesting to me.
Red, what you got?
Definitely gonna make it more interesting. Definitely gonna set the stage for more upsets to come. Because I'm saying with a team of 12, the top team is not gonna always win. They're not gonna always have their best day. I mean, all those teams, somebody is gonna be win on just strictly momentum. So it's a way to give a lot more universities and teams chances to hold up that national trophy. We knew expansion was coming. We didn't know it was coming for 12. We thought maybe 6 or 8, but 12. That's pretty much sending the message. We are tired of Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia being at the top every year. They want a lot more teams exposed and a lot more teams have access to media exposure. So that's all it is. More money, more teams getting access to exposure, more teams having the chance to win it all.
Armani.
I mean, I don't want to sound like an elitist right here, but honestly, it's like you got the 4 best teams in the country, which is Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. And with that being said, that's not going to stop them from still, winning championships. I understand you want to give other universities the chance to win, but I don't want to see number 1 Georgia or Alabama beat up on number 8 or 9 Utah or, what I mean, Oregon. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So I'm not really with it. You could have went from 4 to 6. I would have accepted that more, but from going from 4 to 12, you're kind of pushing it. But hey, probably going to bring up a lot more money for the NCAA, which is why they totally made the move. So I get it.
Well, let me comment real quickly before I tell what Reverend Knight Nation has said. It's not only about more revenue, it's also a ploy to help save the NCAA altogether. Because with all of these crazy moves from teams that are going from one conference all the way to another conference across the country, they're trying to salvage the NCAA as a whole before these teams say, and these colleges say, we don't need the NCAA anymore. So it's about revenue and NCAA survival while they're making these moves. Because like Armani alluded to, if the NCAA weren't threatened by its own survival, they would have made a move from 4 to 6. 4 to 12 is a drastic move.
Yeah.
You add 8 more teams to the playoff going from 4. It went from 2 to 4. The logical step would have been from 4 to 6 or 4 to 8, but it went from 4 to 12. So it's all about the NCAA trying to survive a little longer. Go ahead, Armani.
I got a question, Rev. What do you mean by the trying to save the NCAA? Because I mean, you have to go from college to the NFL. So I don't understand what you mean.
So the college football plays under NCAA rules, but the colleges don't need the NCAA to have a football season. They can become their own entity and have their own league. All right, so that's why the NCAA has not stepped in with the transfer portal to enforce major rules. Also, that's why the NCAA can't do anything to stop, say, for instance, UCLA and USC going to the Big Ten,
Gotcha.
and Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC. We got schools playing in conferences coming up that are all across the other side of the country. And the threat was that the Power 5 conferences would remove themselves from the NCAA and just play their own type of conference football or whatever under their own rules. So this is why I talked about the NCAA's own survival. They're still trying to have football under their guidance.
Copy.
And they have to acquiesce to the wishes of the Power 5 schools who bring in the money that the NCAA enjoys when they have the college football playoff.
And best believe that there's going to be some automatic bids for some of these little conference championships and these little small, little weak divisions. You're going to have these teams getting in the playoffs now. So best believe it might not work out for the small schools because each conference championship, they're going to have an automatic bid, at least for the top ones anyway. Everyone that wins is going to get in.
Yeah.
Now, they'll probably set a few more spots for SEC schools, but best believe SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Pac-12, all of those champions are getting in. So, Coach, your USC Trojans, I have a chance.
Well, and they had to do that to
Georgia
expand
have a
12
chance.
because think about it. You got Oklahoma and Texas going over to the SEC. Those are two nationally recognized programs. You can't just have two schools coming out of the SEC.
Right.
You just can't do it. And then just like in the Big Ten, you got USC, UCLA going into the same conference with national powerhouses like Ohio State.
Right.
Michigan at one point in time was a powerhouse. You can't just have two schools coming out of that conference. So they had to add more schools so that the conferences can have more than just one or two teams.
Yeah, the same schools every year.
Yeah, and then also if you got more schools in your conference, from your conference going to the playoffs, that means more money for the conference.
Absolutely.
So it's a no-brainer.
Got it.
It's a no-brainer.
Got it.
All right.
Copy that.
That's 5 for 5. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us for 5 for 5 on today. Now, we got some pick'em business that y'all forgot about. College football season starts today. And we got at least 3 games we need to pick, gentlemen. Y'all sleeping at the wheel.
You right.
It came quick.
Come on, man.
We got another set of games? Oh, man.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Red, did you win college last year?
Yeah, so I'm the one that should be excited.
All right.
The champ is back.
Oh, that's right.
And Coach, you won NFL again, am I correct? So Red, you are a 2-time champion for NCAA picks.
No, one.
1-time champion.
That was my first. I'm a 2-time champion. 1 college, 1 NFL.
Okay, and Coach is a 3-time champion, 2 for pro and 1 for college, and we won't talk about how many championships Red has. All right.
Well, you got to put an asterisk by one of the coaches during the COVID.
We'll put the COVID champion because Coach got all his championships in the COVID era.
No, sir.
Except for 1.
No, sir.
No. Both of his championships in the COVID era.
No.
We're still in a pandemic. I don't know what y'all think about.
Oh, now you gonna tell me he's still in a pandemic all of a sudden.
Okay.
Ever since we've been wearing masks, that's when Coach been winning his championships.
So that means all them trophies, all them teams that won this past year are COVID champs.
Yeah, we're still in a pandemic. Are we still masking up?
No, I'm talking about the teams in the pro. I'm talking about the Rams and the Warriors.
Yeah, we still in a mask era.
Okay, they COVID champs. Okay.
They're COVID champs. All right, let's go. We're gonna do these NCAA picks real quick, man. We got 3 games. Let me get one of these soundtracks that I've downloaded real quick. So we get
I forgot to set up the game. I can't believe it.
All right, we got 3 games, gentlemen. 3 games. They're all between top 25 schools, preseason top 25, and they could change at any moment. We're going to start with Cincinnati versus Arkansas.
Yeah.
Armani, we'll start with you. Who you got, man?
I'm gonna go with Arkansas. No Desmond Ritter. You lost your running back. Arkansas, Cincinnati. This is the SEC. You got to look at stuff what the SEC really is about in the college football semifinal last year. So, hey, you about to get some dose of it today. The athletes are different. The trenches are different. This is what SEC ball is about. I'm going Arkansas.
All right, Armani goes with Arkansas. Coach, who you got?
Cincinnati has no Riddler, no sauce to pour on those wide receivers. It's going to be Arkansas easy.
All right, Red, who you got?
I guess everybody's taking Arkansas. Yeah, you lose your quarterback. You probably it's going to take a adjustment period. First game, I think I'm going to roll with Arkansas, too, even though they down there slurping Coach John Gruden. I don't know why, but I'm going to still take Arkansas.
And I'm going to make it unanimous. SEC football will reign supreme during this particular game. So let's make it unanimous. I'm going with Arkansas as well. Too physical for Cincinnati to be able to keep up. Second game, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Who you got, Coach?
I like Marcus Freeman. Glad you're the head coach, but you're gonna start your season off with a loss, young man. Ohio State is too loaded. They're in Ohio. You know, hey, they too loaded. Ohio State.
All right, Red, who you got, Notre Dame or Ohio State?
I got to go Ohio State. They got Heisman hopeful and top draft pick C.J. Stroud coming back for his junior senior season. I know he's ready to put up some big time numbers. He's at home, not going to let Notre Dame come on to the horseshoe and make a statement. Ohio State all the way.
Okay, I'm going to go with what Red said and what Coach said, so give me Ohio State as well. Armani, are you making it unanimous?
Yes, Ohio State in a runaway.
All right, I do believe that it's going to be a runaway as well, and I feel sorry for my black brother, head coach of Notre Dame. It's going to get ugly today. All right, the game that at least half of us are looking forward to it. The defending champions. You heard that right, Armani. The defending champions. You heard that all right. Georgia Bulldogs playing against the Oregon Ducks. Kirby Smart's former defensive coordinator takes the helm as head coach of the Oregon Ducks. Red, it's on you, brother. Tell us why Georgia's going to win.
Because we the champs. Because we in our backyard. Because we in the SEC. Because we the most physical team. We the most dominant team. And we don't take no crap from no passive Pac-12 chumps. Maybe if it was USC and Lincoln Riley, I'd give them our order of a chance. But Oregon and those nobodies, those folks we're going to make duck soup out of, we're going to have them dreaming of DuckTales. Nothing. No chance. Like I told Armani that last week, they have less than a 1% chance. A 5.5% chance. UGA opens the season up right 1-0 at the Beans, baby. Championship defense starts strong.
I'm going with Georgia. I approve what Red said. That's why I'm going with Georgia. Armani, who you got?
Well, you know, I really can't take Oregon because the athletes over at Georgia, man, is different, man. They're bigger, stronger, faster, everywhere on the field. Georgia, they finna smoke the socks of Oregon today. Sorry, HBC of Kirby Smart, you're doing your butt whoop today, and it's not gonna be close.
Hey,
Georgia,
what you said the other day?
Georgia's gonna win probably by, I give it a point spread of 25.
All right. Wow. He got him big. All
Not
right.
even remotely.
Coach, are you going to stand up for your big Pac-12 mate?
Mike, you forgot what I already.
My name is not Michael on the show.
Real?
Correct.
I have to get you straight again because you forgot what I said time and time again. I do not like anybody in the Pac-12 except for USC. Georgia gonna win. I don't care who they play for the Pac-12. If it ain't USC, I could care less they get beat by 70. I don't like anybody from the Pac-12. That's why I'm glad we lead you. Then I won't like anybody from the Big Ten. Georgia.
Donnie, what's going on, sir? We have an upset alert. Lord Anthony Coker. Ducks 20. Bull Puppies 24.
Put some money on it. Put some money on it.
That sounds like a Tech fan right there.
I'll take your money.
You have to place an emphasis on those 6 words. The defending national champion, Georgia Bulldogs. Deal with it, Armani. Deal with it.
You got another breaking news too, Real.
Huh?
And another thing of breaking news too.
What's that?
That Appalachian State team back again. They beat North Carolina 21-7.
Wow. All right, let's just do this for fun. We're gonna add one more game to the slate, just for fun.
What game is this?
There it is. I'm typing it in now. So we have 4 games. Y'all ready?
Ready?
I think I know where you're going.
It is on me. Clemson.
I knew it.
Georgia.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Are they in Atlanta?
Yeah, they're playing in Atlanta. Georgia.
Hey, on prime time.
On Monday Night Football. Give me Clemson by 30. The 404 area code will not represent this week. And my man from Georgia Tech, start polishing up your resume. I don't think you're going to be Georgia Tech's coach after this year, bro. I love the hype machine that you were. I love the little Brandon 404, but it has not resulted into wins. And I think after he gets beat by Georgia later on in the season by a good 30 or 40, that era will be over, even though he needed more than 4 years to get under from Paul Johnson's dinosauric approach to playing college football. But nevertheless, give me Clemson big over Georgia Tech. All right, Armani, who you got?
Oh, I feel so sorry for Georgia Tech. First of all, you need a letter from Congress just to get into school. I mean, goodness. I'm sorry, Georgia Tech. You're going to get beat. And you're going to get spanked. By all means, I cannot stand Clemson. I don't like the colors. I can't stand Dabo Swinney. I don't like nothing about Clemson. But they're going to win. They're going to win. So, Clemson.
Coach, who you got?
With apologies, I forgot Kelly. She can't come to CNO school today. I know she's at a funeral, and it's gonna be Georgia Tech's funeral because Clemson's gonna beat them so bad it's gonna hurt really bad. Ain't no redemption story in this one. Clemson.
And Red, give us your reason why Georgia Tech will lose.
Look, I ain't sorry for what I'm about to say to Kelly. Okay, with all the stuff she be hating on my team, Kelly, I start this statement by saying I do not apologize at all. Okay? Now, real, I think we're going to have to change the name from the toilet bowl to the bucket bowl because Tech is about to get mopped up by Clemson this week, okay? Mopped up. And we're gonna put them in a bucket and take that bucket right out to the city dump and just throw Tech right all over it because that's the embarrassment they're going to have for this weekend on Monday Night Football. So no more toilet bowl, Kelly. Now your team is the bucket bowl, and you're going to get mopped up all season long. And I'm going to be here to tell you all about it, sweetheart. Love you, Kelly.
Oh,
I'm taking Clemson if you didn't figure it out.
Oh, man. All right. So everybody will be either tied, or everybody be tied.
Everybody be tied.
No matter what takes place this next week, because all of us chose the same teams. But it won't happen.
Y'all don't want to go out on the limb with me.
All right, here we go. So we look forward to what our records will collectively be on next week. All right, as we get ready to wind up the show, we got to talk a little pro football. And we'll first, before we get into a little NFL preview, we'll let the Atlanta Falcons fans and the Steelers fan give their weekly report as cuts have been made, final rosters have been declared. We'll start with the Red and Red Sports Show home team first. You're on deck, Red, with the Falcons report. Let's get ready to do it.
That red, white, and that black. That red, white, and that black. That red, white, and that black. My team be winning checks, no stats. That red, white, and that black. With the Falcons on the map. That A1, that gameplay, so it ain't no looking back.
Well, Rev, I love that sidetrack, man. Okay. All right. I'll probably talk a little bit more for the NFL preview, but Falcons report, short and sweet. Yeah, we had some cuts this week. We had to get our roster down to 53. And honestly, I'm really not that surprised by most of the cuts we had. I know a lot of guys were surprised that we cut some of those running backs who tried to wait till the last preseason game to show out. Caleb Huntley, Quadri Allison, who's still on the team, just befuddles me. But we let him go. Now, Frank Darby, you can say somewhat surprised. I like this energy. I thought he brought a little positive energy to the team, good locker room presence. I thought we maybe keep him around. It still is a possibility he might go to the practice squad. And the main roster move that surprised me was Deion Jones. The fact that Deion Jones still made the active roster, that surprised me more than anything. But for the most part, most of the guys who I thought were going to make the team made the team. That offensive lineman from UGA, Justin Schaefer, I thought maybe we'd give him another chance. Give him a chance. So I didn't think he'd get cut right away, especially with that trash Mayfield on the squad still. So I'm okay where we at right now. Of course, I have to see some of the games being played, but right now I'm okay where we at roster-wise. So I'm just still anticipating the first game of the season against those division rival New Orleans Saints. So that's all for the Falcons report this week. Just nothing but roster cut, us getting down to the 53, and Arthur Smith still being touchy with the media, but you know.
Armani, do you want to add to the Falcons report since you are a Falcons fan?
I think Red hit everything, but it's kind of interesting how, Deion Jones was just playing the preseason game and looking all right. Doesn't seem like he's injured, and then he goes from that to the IR. So, Terry and Arthur, what are y'all planning to do with him? Because he was just looking fine. Now he's on the IR. So when there's smoke, there's fire. I think they're going to get ready to put a trade package in for Deion Jones. I don't think he's going to be a Falcon by the trade deadline. You can kind of see it. I can just see it. So that's where we at.
All righty. Thank you, gentlemen, for the Falcons report. Just to let you all know, while I was in Atlanta, I did bring one of my Atlanta Falcons hat to Pennsylvania with me. So I'm starting to transition some of my Falcons gear to Pennsylvania now that Matt Ryan is no longer on the squad.
Pump that Falcon song up again, Rev.
You want to hear it again?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That red, white, and that black. That red, white, and that black. That red, white, and that black. My team be winning checks, no stats. That red, white, and that black. With the Falcons on the map. That A1, that gameplay, so it ain't no looking back.
All right, man. I know you were going to try to rhyme on it. All right, Coach, you on deck, man. We got a Steelers report. Let's get it.
Yeah, you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
All right. Everything has been finalized. Most of the guys that the Steelers let go, they were able to get them back on the practice squad. So no harm there. I just hate again that my boy Master T, who was looking good, 6 carries, 36 yards, and run over people. He got picked up by, I believe, the Chicago Bears or somebody. So, hey, that's okay. But we got our guys back. Most of them coming back. And as far as anybody still wondering, Mitch Trubisky is going to be the starting quarterback for the Steelers. They can kill the Kenny Pickett drama. There's no drama. Mike Tomlin has said Trubisky's going to start barring injury. So, see, we'll be playing the defending AFC champs in the first game, the Cincinnati Bengals. So, let's see what happens. We'll see how we open up the 2022 season.
All righty. Coach has given us his Steelers report. Now let's just jump right into the NFL preview. If you don't mind, feel free to let us know who are your early divisional winners. Are in the AFC, NFC. Then give us your AFC matchup, championship matchup, your NFC championship matchup, and then who's in your Super Bowl.
Okay, that's right, real. I like exactly how you framed that. That's about all we got time for.
All right, so you go with it first then.
Okay, now what we starting with?
Who are your divisional winners for each conference?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought maybe you were just gonna set it up and we go back that way, like you'll do AFC West, or you just want me to?
Okay, all right, we'll do it
Yeah.
that way. All right, so let's start with the AFC East. Who's your pick?
Okay. Well, this is gonna be easy right here. Buffalo Bills are gonna win this division. Josh Allen and the Bills, they're in their championship window right now. If they don't win this division, this is gonna be a complete shock. I mean, they possibly fighting for a wild card spot. Ain't no guarantee with that. The Bills will win the East, or it is a huge upset.
All right, Armani, are you on the Bills train with Red?
Nope.
What?
Nope. I'm gonna go out on a limb. The Dolphins gonna win that division.
Why so?
They done messed up. They done gave Tua some good weapons. They got a stocky defense. Dolphins gonna come out on top of that. Watch what I say. Watch. Dolphins gonna come out on top.
Has Eric Ross been visiting you on your Navy base?
Nope.
So you got a lot of faith in Tua. All right, we'll
Yep.
see if Tyreek Hill loves Tua by the end of the season.
We'll see.
Coach, who you got? AFC East.
Bills easy. I don't see anything competing with them. Bills.
All right, so we got 2 Bills and a Dolphin. All right, I'm gonna go with the Bills as well. Josh Allen, I trust that he's the real deal. I think Tua is gonna get exposed again. Georgia Bulldogs helped expose Tua back when he was in college, and Tua had a lot of weapons in college too, and he still got exposed. So I think the same exposure that he's not that good is going to be shown in the NFL this year. And I think Tyreek Hill will be retracting every statement that he said about Tua being just as good as Patrick Mahomes.
I ain't gave up on you, Tua. I ain't gave up on you. Not yet.
All right, keep hope alive. We're moving forward. AFC North picks. We got Coach's division. We'll start with him. We'll go to him last. Red. No, we can start with you, Red. I'm sorry. Armani, who you got, man? Baltimore pick, Cleveland, or Cincinnati?
How long is Deshaun Watson out for?
Basically, the majority of the season.
11 weeks.
All right, never mind. All right. I was gonna go with the Ravens. Now I gotta go with my dad's team, man. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Steelers, man. I think Kenny Pickett will be the starter by week 3, week 4. I think he's slightly better than Mitchell Trubisky. So, and they got a great defense. So you go with the Steelers.
Okay. Coach, tell us why you're going with the Steelers.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
All right. This is one of the few objective moments Coach is giving us on the show.
And the only reason I'm going with the Bengals is because the Steelers' offensive line troubles may haunt them. They still haven't got that offensive line to where it's consistent. They were dominated by Jacksonville and Detroit. And I know they said, well, it's preseason. But when you see little telltale signs like that, that is a problem. And, you know, you got to have an offensive line, even though you got multiple quarterbacks now, but still, that is the only reason I'm going to give the Bengals the edge right now. That could change because the Bengals their defense is not that good to me, but they got a good offense with Joe Burrow and Chase and those guys and running back. So I don't get a Browns anything. And Baltimore must not like wide receivers because they don't ever get any decent wide receivers. They just said Lamar Jackson run us to victory. He can't keep doing it forever. So I give Cleveland this 1 game slight edge over the Steelers.
All right, Red, who you got?
I can't believe Coach went out on a limb and picked the Bengals to win the division. Oh, well, I'm not going that route. I'm going with the Steelers. I'm with our money. I'm picking the Steelers to win that division. This is Mike Tomlin. This is Pittsburgh. Now, I know the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, and I'm still going to pick them for a wild card. But until somebody show me that the Steelers ain't the top team in that division, I ain't going to believe it. And we still got Mike Tomlin, still got that defense, still got Najee Harris. You just need quarterback, Trubisky or Pickett, whichever one they put in there, to make a few plays a game. I love Joe Burrow and Cincy, but that division belongs to Pittsburgh until somebody sees it.
Wow, y'all are really flooring me. I would have expected Coach to find a reason to do Pittsburgh, but y'all have done that for him, and that's very surprising. Doctor says Steelers winning division. Yeah, I would have to say I'm going with Coach. Cincinnati. What has Cincinnati shown you in the offseason that will show you that they will take a huge fall from grace? Pittsburgh doesn't even know who their quarterback is going to be. Are you going to put your trust in Mitch Trubisky? Are you all kidding me? We don't know what Kenny Pickett is. We know they have a fire defense, no diggity, no doubt. They're going to be leaning on Najee Harris, but as Coach alluded to, will he have an offensive line that will help him do what he does best, and that is run the ball? There are less questions about Joe Burrow than there are about any of the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks. We don't even know who their quarterback would be. And I think we've learned from college football that Joe Burrow is the real deal. Barring any injury, what we saw last year was not just some anomaly. Joe Burrow is that dude. He showed he was that dude with his rookie season, but he got hurt. He showed that he's that dude last year. He showed he was that dude at LSU. So I can't understand how y'all would go with Pittsburgh, but you're entitled to your flawed opinion. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals to win the division.
Well, he was that dude last year, and they still didn't win the division, but they made the playoffs.
They did go to the Super Bowl. And then
they went to the Super Bowl. I ain't saying they weren't going to make the playoffs. I just said I didn't pick them to win the division.
And also, Pittsburgh had Mr. Ben Roethlisberger as their quarterback, who is long gone.
That probably held them back.
I wouldn't say that. Armani, you must be going to a Baptist church tomorrow because you got your Baptist finger up. So go ahead on. We'll acknowledge your Baptist finger.
I would have picked Baltimore, but when are y'all going to surround Lamar Jackson with some decent wide receiver play?
Never.
I just don't understand it of why they won't surround him with some good wide receiver play.
Never.
I think it may be to prove a point that he's not really worth the money that he.
How do we know if you're not going to give him nobody to throw to besides Mark Andrews, though?
But I think it's to prove.
What wide receiver is going to want to come over there?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a good point, but I'm just saying you could have drafted or just you could have. There was a plenty of wide receivers deep in this draft, but you didn't snag not one of the top.
So let me
I
ask you
just
this.
don't get it.
Let me ask you this, Armani. You don't think Joe Burrow's the real deal?
I do.
So why would you choose Baltimore before Cincinnati?
No, I'm not. I think
Baltimore.
I think Baltimore's defense is better, but I'm just saying, like, and don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow is the real deal. But we already know what happens after people go to the Super Bowl. They start trending down, especially the losers. So let's not act like when you have a Super Bowl appearance, you don't at least fall asleep a little bit. I'm just saying.
So let's look at some of the quarterbacks that lost. Jared Goff lost. He's no longer a Ram. Matt Ryan lost. He's no longer a Falcon. Those are some of the most recent. Tom Brady lost and came back and won the Super Bowl.
That's Tom Brady. So let's not pick him.
So
Patrick Mahomes lost.
But he's still amongst the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that only works for average quarterbacks.
Like Matt Ryan.
Like Matt Ryan. There you go.
No.
Speaking of Matt Ryan, let's move on to the next division. Will he win the AFC South?
Yeah.
All right, Coach, it's on you, bro. Who you got? AFC South.
Has there been any team to come in the AFC South recently? Any new team?
No.
That's why he's gonna win it. Jaguars, Texans, and Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Yeah.
Well, don't sleep on Malik Willis. He may get the job. Who knows?
Man, but that preseason stuff looked good on paper. But I mean, I give it to coach by default. That's the only reason. Coach by default.
All right, Red. Tell us why the Colts will not win.
I ain't giving to the Colts by default, no fault, ass fault. None of it, man, because they ain't winning that division. I'm going to tell you who's going to win that division. Tennessee Titans, okay? And if they don't win that division, Jacksonville Jaguars. Other than that...
Oh, my God. Come on, man.
Are you serious?
I'll tell you why. Don't laugh, okay? Because they don't have Urban Meyer as their coach anymore. They got a proven coach in Dougie P, who has proved himself to work well with young quarterbacks. That defense, it ain't like it was a few years ago, but it's up and coming. It's on the rise. I'm saying they're going to win the division, but don't sleep on the Jags this year because if Trevor Lawrence got any talent with him, we'll see it this year. If Dougie P can't get it out of him, then it was a bust. If he don't show us anything this year, it probably was a bust. But I think the Jags are gonna show us something this year. I tell you who ain't showing me nothing this year. That guy that played for Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan. I ain't worried about that team at all. Jonathan Taylor, he's gonna be
a Jacksonville defensive player.
The guy we just drafted from Georgia, Trevon Walker.
I'm talking about before him.
You said name one. I named one. Next.
I'm talking about they up and coming.
Hold on. Wait. That's not even the bigger. That's not even the big issue. How can you call? First of all, how can you call it a bust? Dougie P just got there.
Right.
He just got there. So you got to give him at least 2.5, 3 years.
Well, Trevor Lawrence gonna be up in for a contract soon, so he needs to start showing something at least this year.
Who is he throwing? Who is Trevor Lawrence throwing to? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't know. He's gonna have to make them. He's gonna have to turn them like Joe Burrow turned them nobodies into something. Lawrence gonna have to turn them nobodies.
Hold on. Joe Burrow got Jamar Chase, and then the dude across from him, Higgins, wasn't no scrub neither. So they not nobody. Let's not act like Joe Burrow throw them to some major scrubs.
Joe Burrow can have me and you out there, and we still be putting up big numbers. Okay, it don't matter who he's throwing to.
And
So
then
why you
Matthew-
didn't pick the Bengals to win the division then?
That's
But we on another division now. Because Pittsburgh gonna win that division. That's
All
why I
right,
didn't pick them.
let me do my pick because we can't spend all day on the AFC.
Yeah, Armani, you stopping me asking me these stupid questions.
But I know Red is not gonna like this. But the Colts have the best team
The
all
Colts.
the way around.
Thank you. That's my pick.
No matter how much I despise Matt
Oh,
Ryan,
and you're gonna be wrong at the end of the year.
they will probably win the division. Tennessee, has been ruling that division, but I would take Matt Ryan over Ryan Tannehill.
Who got the best running back in the South?
But the problem is they lost one of their biggest weapons too to the Philadelphia Eagles, their wide receiver.
And not only that,
who is Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to now?
Who is Matt Ryan throwing the ball to?
They still got a couple of
Go ahead, name. I'm listening.
I can't name them off the top of my head.
Who? Huh?
T.Y. Hilton's still there.
He's over the hill. He's over the hill.
Oh, and let's not. Tennessee has a manager. First of all, they lost Rashad Evans to us, and then their leading pass rusher towards ACL. He's out for the season. Harold Landry.
That's true.
So,
it's gonna be the division gonna be up in the air. I just don't think the Colts gonna win it.
Well, you weren't gonna. If they had a fire team, you still wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't gonna pick them.
But
Michael Pittman, that's what I know y'all laughing at the Jags.
Michael Pittman is solid.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Pittman is
that's who I couldn't think of his name, but Michael Pittman is.
They got a decent run game. Matt Ryan can do all right if he got a decent run game.
Well, the run game is the best part of their offense.
Yeah, agreed. Jonathan Taylor's the real deal. Jonathan Taylor is arguably the best running back in the league. So that's why I would have to give the Colts an edge, because Jonathan Taylor now is just as good, in my opinion, than Derrick Henry, because we don't know how good Derrick Henry will be coming back off that major injury that he experienced last year. And we know that running backs' shelf lives are very limited. And he's probably more on the decline rather than the uptick. And Jonathan Taylor is on the uptick. And that's why Matt Ryan should do well, but they will not be winning any AFC Championship, Super Bowl anytime.
All right. Well, at least y'all didn't go that far.
I'm not going that far. All right, on to the AFC West.
Uh-oh.
I guess it's on me. And I'm
Shocker.
not buying into Denver. I'm not buying in to the Las Vegas Raiders. You know who I'm buying into. I'm not buying into the San Diego, LA Chargers, even though they overhyped the young quarterback there. It's all about Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And Pat Mahomes showing the world, y'all think Tyreek Hill defines me? Not so fast, my friends. I am that dude. And I'm going to show you all that I am the best quarterback in the National Football League. And I'm going to do things y'all ain't seen before. So in other words, as one of the songs in church would say, you ain't seen nothing yet. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC. Who you got, Armani?
I'm going with the Broncos and my boy Russell Wilson. That's my pick.
Any reason why?
Anything else?
Any reason why?
They got a solid defense. So better defense than Kansas City, I should add.
Do they have a better offense again?
That's neither here or there.
All right, then. Let's move on.
Oh my
Defense
God.
wins what? Defense wins what?
Championships.
All right,
but you're in a scoring league now. You don't have those shutdown defenses.
Armani is selling the Broncos so short, and he gonna pick them. At least give a good argument why you gonna pick them.
All right, we'll get to you, Red, in just a minute, since you sound like you're gonna pick Denver. Coach, who you got? Tell us why my boys Patrick Mahomes gonna win the AFC West.
One, because the Raiders They self-destruct too much sometimes. And Derek Carr is highly, and I will put highly, overrated. Who is that?
He says Matt Ryan Jr.
Okay. He's highly overrated. They give him too much credit to being a good quarterback, and he's so. I don't know who the Raiders running backs is.
Josh Jacobs.
Man, they might well get John Gruden. Jacobs is okay. He's not he's solid, but he's not an outstanding running back. He doesn't change the game for you. And then you look at the Chargers. Justin Herbert comes up short in big games. A lot. He comes up short in big games. When it's time to put the pressure on him, he comes up short. Now, Russell Wilson and the Broncos, they're going to scare a lot of teams because of what they got. And Wilson, is, like they say, is no scrub. But Kansas City only lost one wide receiver, that's Tyreek Hill. Yeah, he was their best receiver. But you still got Kelsey.
Tell us,
Coach. You still got a solid team.
Who else did we get, Coach?
Huh?
Who else did we get?
Who else did they get?
That dude who used to wear the black and gold.
Juju.
Oh, Red, you made me pull that up, and I was not planning not to. Yeah, y'all got old Double J, Juju, out there running around in the slot. But I'm going to tell you one weakness that I hope they don't exploit on Kansas City. One man, and you know what I'm talking about, plays cornerback, Eric Sorensen. If Sorensen is on the field, that field is going to be wide open because he is the definition of white men can't jump and white men can't cover. He can't cover a bed. So I don't know. They better give him some help and play some different kind of defenses to help him out because other than that, they're solid. I'll go with Kansas City.
All right, Red, tell us why you anti-Kansas City.
Just don't trust you guys' defense. Not really sure about your running game. You lose a big-time playmaker like Tyreek Hill, it's going to be hard to replace him. Y'all think you can? We'll see. You still got Eric Kelsey, sure. But like I say, I think the offense is going to take a small step back this season. Still got Pat Mahomes, so of course, y'all going to have a good team. But your defense, I have no faith in. Point being that every time y'all played a good team last year, they pretty much scored all over y'all. I mean, you got beat in the playoffs when you played a good scoring team like Cincinnati. So I'm not really picking y'all to win. I'm with Armani. Denver is going to win that division. Denver was only a quarterback away the past few years. They've had a defense, skill players, running backs, but they didn't have a coach. They got one now, and they think Hackett. That dude is impressing me. He is an offensive guy. He knows what he's doing on that side of the ball, and he has personality. You bringing personality back to the Broncos in addition to that defense, to Russell Wilson, the playmaker at quarterback, to Melvin Gordon Armani. Remember the running back from the Chargers, Melvin Gordon? They still have him. And the Phillip guy, they still have him, just to remind you. So Denver ain't no slouch now. The receiver, Jerry Jeudy, I think Cortland Finnegan, I'm not sure, did he get hurt? One of those guys went down with an ACL tear. I'm not sure if it was Finnegan or not. But we still got Jeudy. It wasn't Finnegan? Okay, well, Finnegan's there even better. We still got guys capable of making plays for Russell Wilson. You got to remember, when you have a quarterback, players play a little bit better. These guys are going to step their game up a little bit more, real. In the past few seasons, where they didn't have nobody they didn't believe in at the quarterback position. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater. No, that ain't going to make nobody believe we're going to make the playoffs. You got Russell Wilson under center. What you got on money?
And let's not forget that other running back, Javonte Williams from North Carolina.
Hey, Denver, the Broncos offense is going to be formidable just as much as the Chiefs and the Chargers. As long as with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson on the ship, The Broncos ain't gonna be no slouch, Rev. So you're gonna have to worry about the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers. That's gonna be a tough division, baby. And I'm taking the Broncos and my boy Sierra Wilson to get them goodies, baby, and to put the Chiefs behind them.
Go ahead, Coach, please. Before I
Okay. I think I did. I not just hear that the Broncos.
Come on, bring it.
Rev, did I not just hear that the Broncos were a quarterback away from being good?
Yeah.
They finished 7-10, last place. A quarterback would have made that much difference. They finished last.
Are you
You
serious?
think a quarterback when they make that much difference?
Okay.
So,
Who was that quarterback last year? Drew Lock?
Are we gonna act like Russell?
Yeah,
Wilson?
Armani, it was Drew Lock.
Who is that?
Hold on. Are we gonna act like Russell Wilson is the savior? Are we really gonna do that? Because there was a mantra in Seattle: "Let Russ cook," and he cooked them out of business. Are we gonna act like? Are we gonna act like Russell Wilson?
I'm not gonna let you do that.
Hold on, Monty. Hold on. I'll let
Right.
y'all have your little Denver celebration.
Let them go, Armani. Let them talk.
Are we gonna act like Russell Wilson didn't do anything with the wide receivers that he had in Seattle? Are we gonna act like DK Metcalf is trash? Are we gonna act like Tyler Lockett is trash? I mean, y'all up here telling me the Broncos are a quarterback away. What did he do when he had DK Metcalf, who is better than any wide receiver that's on the Denver Broncos right now? What did he do with Tyler Lockett?
So offensive line play and scheme don't matter?
Okay. When he had an offensive line, was he their stud? When they were running the ball with Marshawn Lynch, had a dominant offensive line. Was Russell Wilson a stud?
Did they not go to the Super Bowl and win?
I'm asking you, was he a stud? Did they go because of him, or did they go because of the defense?
That's you making my point even more. He has a good defense.
So when he had an offensive line, so we don't know what Russell. My point is, we don't know how good Russell Wilson is. That's my point. Because when he had a great offensive line, the team wasn't dominant because of him. They were dominant because of the defense. When they gave him all this money and said, "Let Russ cook," he cooked himself right out of town.
Or did the offensive coordinator cook? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have much leeway.
Pete Carroll did not want Russ to cook because he understood Russell's limitations.
What are the limitations of Russell Wilson? What can't he do?
Win playoff games without a great defense. Without a great defense? What playoff game have we seen him win without a great defense?
Okay, since we're going down that road, name me a quarterback that won without a great defense.
Patrick Mahomes. Moving on.
Well, they not
moving on.
Top 10 or top 50. They were in the upper half of the league.
Listen here, man. Kansas City was not in no top 10, top 15. Stop it.
Okay,
stop it.
I'm pretty sure they were.
Stop it.
That's fine.
Stop it. Are we saying Russell Wilson? I'm sorry, Coach. Russell Wilson's on the same status as Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. Are we saying he's on that level?
I'm not saying that he is, Rev, but he's in the conversation.
What conversation? Second tier?
Okay.
He ain't in no first tier conversation. That's why I was surprised he wasn't in Denver trying to get better rather than being at a tennis match. He needs to be back in Denver throwing some footballs at somebody. Stop rooting for Serena.
Oh boy, Rev, you selling Russell short. It seems like he's just gonna have to prove it to you this year. But you better watch out because your Chiefs is not gonna win this division. They definitely ain't gonna win it going away. You're going to have some problems this year with every team in that division, including the Raiders, who you just selling short. I'm saying Carr and Devontae Adams, they're going to make some plays over there now.
I'm hearing more Chiefs hate than Broncos facts, but we're going to move on.
Look, every team is going to be there, but best believe Russell Wilson going to have the Broncos fighting for a division spot. Best believe Devontae Adams is going to be a life savior for Derek Carr, and he going to have the Raiders fighting for a playoff spot. Best believe that Tyreek Hill not being with the Chiefs this year is going to be a liability for Patrick Mahomes. Best believe that the Chargers and Justin Herbert are going to do a lot of talking all season, but probably not going to be there.
I mean, when Russell Wilson does something to elevate his team, because I look at him as a higher black version of Matt Ryan.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I do. Because when it was time to elevate his team, once he got his money, what did the team do? You want to get paid like a franchise quarterback. So that means you can't have a great offensive line. When they paying you like you one of the best in the league. And what did he do when he got his money? He wet the bed. He wet the bed.
They didn't have a good year last year.
Don't tell me Russell Wilson is this top-tier quarterback. When Mahomes signed that big contract, did they win a Super Bowl yet? No, but they still competing. And still on that higher echelon of teams.
Well, Russell Wilson competed the year before. I know you thinking about last year when they just had the bad season. That's that taste still in your mouth from last season. They competed the year before now.
What playoff game did he win?
They won the division in 2020.
What playoff game did they win?
Oh, guys, no, they ain't had no. Well, they haven't had playoff success since Pete Carroll made that awful decision, trying to make Russell the guy. Well, Russell Wilson is
prove my point. Prove my point.
Wait a minute.
My point.
Now wait a minute, Wait a minute. Russell Wilson's game has improved since that moment. Now he even had the playoff success.
What's the measuring stick that his game has improved?
That was Russell Wilson's fault in that Super Bowl?
We ain't even talking about the Super Bowl. That was years ago now.
Yeah, I'm just bringing that up as a point.
We still know he made the Super Bowl because the defense was still the defense.
Now he did get DJ Metcalf paid now.
Okay, he got him some stats. Where did the W's go with the stats?
Let's see what DK got with Wilson.
You did ask him what did he do with DK Metcalf.
They didn't win nothing. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Y'all putting too much stock in Russell Wilson going to Denver. He is not a Patrick Mahomes. He is not Josh Allen. He is not Aaron Rodgers. Stop. Let's stop putting him on this pedestal. Is he solid? Yes. Is he solid? Yes.
He's top
but
10.
he is not that dude.
He's not top 10.
Okay. He's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now?
I mean, that's 1/3 of the league.
Okay, well, Denver, the Broncos just traded for a top 10 quarterback, and I think that is going to help them get to the playoffs.
How many teams were knocking down the Seattle Seahawks' door to get Russell Wilson?
Oh, I don't know who all was in contention.
Now, Patrick Mahomes is available. If Josh Allen is available, how many teams will be knocking down that door?
Are we talking?
I knock it down for Josh Allen, not Mahomes.
Not Mahomes.
Okay.
Okay.
You know not Mahomes. You the Mahomes slurper, not me.
So we're gonna act like Mahomes is not one of the top best quarterbacks.
He's good. He's one of the top quarterbacks.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's not great. He's just good.
He's great. I'm not saying that he's not
so
great.
That lets us know Red's
I'm
credibility.
not saying that he's not great.
Red's credibility just went out the door. We're losing. We've been on the AFC South too long. Let's move on. We still got another division. We want to be out of here in time so we watch Georgia play.
Let's get to the NFC.
Here we go.
We don't agree on the AFC West right now.
We'll start with the NFC West. Back to you, Armani. Who you got?
I forgot. Hold on.
Rams, Seattle, 49ers, Arizona.
Rams. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Coach, is it that obvious for you?
I won't give it that obvious. The Rams will probably win. I think they may take a slight drop, but the Rams will probably win it by a game. But they may edge out one of those other teams.
So who's threatening them?
I still keep San Francisco because they was able to keep Debo, and they was able to keep that defense pretty much intact. Now, Trey, I don't know how he's going to do, but I still that defense in San Francisco, and then like I said, plus Debo is gonna keep them up there. How long they stay around, good question, but I say Rams.
All right, Red, are you on the Rams bandwagon?
Yeah, but then now this is the default division. Rams by default. I think the Niners are gonna battle them during the season, but the Niners is too much dysfunction over there. You got Trey, you got Jimmy, who's the QB. Defense is physical, but I think the Rams handled them last year. The Rams will be ready for them this year. Arizona, Kyler Murray, they'll be formidable, but with Hopkins out the first 6 weeks of the season, they're going to have a lot of catching up to do. Seattle, you can just forget them. No quarterback. Lock. Geno Smith means you have no quarterback. Like Rev said on one of his posts earlier this year, Seattle be vying for a top 5 spot in the draft.
I am going to go with the Rams as well. I don't have any trust in Kyler Murray down the stretch. He always has a good stretch of 3 or 4 weeks and then folds at the end. The San Francisco quarterbacks are trying to force a starting quarterback to be the starter when he's still not ready. And then the Seattle Seahawks, they're vying for a draft pick. All right, so we'll move forward on. We lost Armani. Maybe Sierra called them and said, thank you for calling up Russell.
I knew it was coming, Rev. I knew it was coming. I was going to make the joke for you. I had something ready, Rev.
I will say, if I had Russell Wilson money, he wouldn't have no chance. You know, they did.
Armani, you know Sierra be whipping you like Russell too.
Yeah.
Probably. Not even gonna lie to you.
Hey, she was looking nice at the U.S. Open this week.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
She shouldn't have been seen. She should have been in Denver helping her husband throw some passes.
He don't
Let's
need
move
no
forward. NFC North, who you got, Coach?
I mean, this should be the easiest one of all. We should need to take 3 minutes on this, Packers.
All right. Red?
No. Not with him this year. No. Sorry, Armani. Devontae Adams gone. Dude don't even have a receiver he can believe in. You're going to depend on that running back to take a little pressure off for you. You'll be in the thick of things. But honestly, I like Minnesota with that vision. Yeah. Their defense is improved. Justin Jefferson is coming to his own. Cousins and Jefferson, they do have somewhat of a chemistry. I know Jefferson get upset with them at times, but they still have enough. They still have the other receivers on the other side. The Vikings are gonna be some of a team to reckon with this year, especially in that division. And don't sleep on Chicago with Justin Fields either. He might step it up a little too. It's not just a forsaken that the Packers are gonna win, because the Packers as a team have gotten worse from 2021.
Witnesses right here. Witnesses. $1,000 the Packers win the division. Put it up. Witnesses.
Minnesota gonna win. I'm picking Minnesota. I'll pick the Packers for a wild card though.
All right. By default, the Packers will win because of the flawed quarterback play from the rest of the team. Justin Fields is coming into his own, but still has no offensive line. He'll be running for his life. He still doesn't really have any major weapons to throw the ball to. Kirk Cousins, enough said. He's one of the biggest frauds in the NFL. The Vikings have a great defense.
And he still got a job.
But he got a job, but his job will not be to win the NFC North this year. And I don't care.
We'll see.
We've seen Aaron Rodgers move from what's my man's name, who's a commentator now, Jennings.
Greg Jennings
to Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae Adams does not define Aaron Rodgers. Let's not get it twisted. Aaron Rodgers been putting up numbers well before Devontae Adams came into the NFL. So Aaron Rodgers is that dude. We've seen running backs come and go, and Aaron Rodgers puts up numbers. So in this division, it's the Packers going away. Detroit, I love the coach. He got some great swag to him, but you're not winning nothing with Jared Goff.
Oh, okay.
All right, you ain't winning nothing with Jared Goff. Armani, what's your pick?
Oh, the Packers in a runaway. It's not close.
Oh, right.
Runaway. It's not gonna be close.
Yeah, so y'all must be thinking 13, 14 wins for the Packers.
12.
12 at least.
You might be able to get away in that division. You might be able to get away with 11 and win that division. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to win much, but man.
Sister Brickus is with Red. She says it's a toss-up between the Packers and the Vikings.
Eventually,
if Dalvin Cook missed 5+ games, they not.
It's a wrap, and he's gonna get hurt.
It's a wrap.
What if he don't?
Well, he will.
They got a chance.
He will,
but they're not gonna win the division.
He's not that durable. He'll lose. He'll miss a game or two. He's not that durable.
We just remember who said it first. Red said the Vikings.
We'll say, remember when Red wasted our time talking about the Vikings?
Red, you better hope Russell Wilson don't show out this year. Me and Money coming for you.
All right, come for me. And
make
sure y'all wait for the entire season. Don't come at me the first 4 or 5 weeks. Remember, there are 17 weeks this season.
Look at him, my buddy. He already worried that Mahomes gonna start off bad.
I ain't worried. Mahomes can start off terribly, but we know when this comes by the end of the season, he's gonna be still that dude. I mean, he's already shown us.
I can't wait for this season.
All right. Let's move on. NFC East. Who you got?
Oh Lord.
Coach. Oh no, Red. We're on you. Who you got?
Not the Cowgirls, not the Red, no, not the Commanders, Cobra Commanders, and definitely not the G-Men. Unfortunately, even though I'm like Rev, I don't have too much faith in Jalen Hurts, but I got to go by default. But I ain't got no faith in them Cowboys. I don't care what the Dallas nation talking about. Mike McCarthy, Dak, spare me. We've seen this movie before, and I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. Worst movie of the year. So I'm going to go with a movie I didn't think was going to be good, but it might turn out to be all right. The Philadelphia Eagles. I like them. I like the skill players. I like the defense. I like the physicality. I even like the young coach. But, like Real said, Jalen Hurts got a little bit to prove to him. But we hoping, we want you to prove it to us, but we're not completely sold yet. But I think even without Jalen having his best season, I think Philly can scrub out 10 or 9 or 10 wins in that East, because the Cowgirls ain't gonna lose so many games that they supposed to win, and they'll be hanging around with the same record the Eagles got in the end, and I think the Eagles end up still in that division. So the Eagles will win that division with a 10-7 record.
Because I passed the Eagles territory, I plead the fifth. Moving on, your chance, man.
Come on, Real. That is good.
This is all going to be dependent.
Hold on, right quick. I'm gonna make my pick. I'm not gonna pull a coach right there.
Okay.
And Jalen Hurts, I do not trust.
Oh.
And the quarterback means so much in college football. Am I a big Dak Prescott fan? Absolutely not. Do I believe
I'm about to say
$1 million quarterback? Absolutely not. But do I believe he's better than Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, and whoever the Commanders are throwing out there, Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz.
Yes, I do. And because of that, the Cowboys have the better quarterback play, and they will win. I want the Eagles to do well. Matter of fact, they asking me to shorten church services so they can see the Eagles play by 1 o'clock. And I told them the Eagles first got to show that they're going to win, because the last time I shortened service for the Eagles, they got drilled in the playoffs. And Jalen Hurts was the starting quarterback. So I am not shortening my sermon for no Philadelphia Eagles who got drilled last year in the playoffs.
Rev, you act like they sound like Falcon fans asking us to shorten service for the Falcons.
Yeah, man, I'm not shortening the service.
Don't waste Jesus' time on them.
No,
I wouldn't dare waste my pastor time asking that.
No, but if the Eagles had a better quarterback, I would go with the Eagles. I do not trust Jalen Hurts. I've never been a fan of Jalen Hurts because he is more of a mobile quarterback who is not the most cerebral quarterback. And I don't really like attaching those type of statements to black quarterbacks, because that buys into the stigma that black quarterbacks have had to deal with for so many years. But when I look
Gotta
at
call it
Jalen
like you
Hurts,
see it, real.
there's a reason. There is a reason why that young man got benched in the championship game of the national championship game in college. And Armani, you ought to be shouting with me because you know if he had played that second half in Atlanta, the Georgia Bulldogs would be a two-time recent champion. So I cannot go with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are trying to save money at the position, but they're going to have to pony up some money to get a real quarterback to go with those weapons that they have in wide receiver Smith and the guy who came over from Tennessee Titans. The Eagles got a solid squad. I love them because
I
they
know.
got the big boy from Georgia, DT. Plus they got the linebacker from Georgia. They got both
Yep.
of them studs. That came
Kobe
from Georgia's
Dean
team.
and
Kobe Dean and the big boy.
Jordan Davis.
Jordan
Yeah,
Davis.
Jordan Davis. I mean, so I have more incentive to root for the Eagles since I'm in Eagles territory. But Jalen Hurts, I can't get excited about no team that got Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. So I'm going with the Cowboys. Armani, who you got?
Man, as much as I can't stand the Cowboys. I'm gonna have to go.
Choose them.
Not because of Jalen Hurts, but I think the clock is wasting on, for one, Mike McCarthy, and then the rush for the Cowboys to win because of Jerry Jones's age. So with that, all that being said, the Cowboys probably gonna come away with that division.
So you got the Cowboys too?
Yep.
Coach, who you got?
Hey Dana, you told me to pick the Eagles. I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
Oh,
Only
God, somebody on my
because
side.
the Commanders are terrible, the
That's
Giants
right.
are invisible, and the Cowboys know what they do every year about this time.
Right.
They just like that car. You get it off the lot in September, it runs good. December and January, you're taking it to the shop. So, hey, Eagles. Now,
So
how far they go?
But besides Dana telling you to go with the Eagles, why are you choosing the Eagles?
Because of the reason I just said. Commanders are terrible. The Giants are invisible. And the Cowboys fade down the stretch. They don't have to.
What have the Eagles shown you with Jalen Hurts?
I'm not looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm looking at the defense. I'm going defensively for the Eagles. That's going to keep them in a lot of games. They're going to be a team similar to the Joe Flacco Baltimore Ravens, although not on that level, but they're going to have a good defense, so-so offense, enough to just get them by, and that's it.
So just one, you got to listen, Red. I'm not listening to that foolishness. So help me understand, what team has a dominant defense and wins ball games without having a comparable offense?
I just told you. Remember the Joe Flacco Ravens?
Jacoby Jones.
That's before the rules changed. Since the rules have changed, who's had a dominant defense and has still won without a comparable offense?
Let's see. Let me dig into the cerebellum.
Get back to us next week, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Get back to us next week. All right, on to the last division. The last division.
That's
NFC
it.
South.
Last one.
NFC South. We'll start with you, Coach.
Dante Armstrong, where are you now? Come on here and say the Carolina Panthers are gonna win the division and look like you don't know what you're talking about.
That happens often.
Tampa Bay, because the Falcons are up and coming. The Carolina Panthers are going nowhere with Baker Mayfield. And who else? The Saints. Now the Saints, I forgot. The Saints scared of Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No Sean Payton.
You doing so well, Coach.
And Tampa Bay. Even though Tampa Bay may be hurting a little this year with the offensive line being crippled, they got about 3 new starters. So,
there goes Dante Buccaneers.
You gonna talk about the Steelers? You can't pick your own team.
Well,
Leave
he's
me
being
alone,
objective,
Dante.
Coach. Armani, who you got?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. My heart tells me to say that Atlanta, but my head.
That's a broken heart.
You ain't lying. It shouldn't be that hard of a decision.
Don't listen to that heart.
Don't.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say Atlanta, only because I think Tom Brady's gonna have a down year. That his age is gonna show, and the Saints have no proven head coach, and no proven quarterback, and they just traded one of their safeties to Philly for picks. So that told me everything I need to know about what they're trying to do. So Atlanta,
The Saints don't have a proven quarterback, but the Falcons do. Okay.
I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying at least we got a head coach who's not in his first year.
All right, he's in his second year.
He know what he's trying to do.
Okay, he's in his second year. Okay, big difference, huh? Come on, Armani, man.
Just give me
We're
the
going to have to
benefit
ban you from the show with takes like this, man.
Just give me the benefit of the doubt, Red. Just give me the benefit of the doubt. Let me pick my own team.
Hold up.
Let me be objective for a second.
You're not being objective. You're being a homer.
Being a homer. That's what I meant. Let me be a homer for a second.
So are you
And
trying
you weren't
to
even
tell
that
me?
convinced of it.
Are you trying to tell me, Armani, Marcus Mariota has a better NFL career and resume than Jameis Winston? Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Again, the Saints traded away one of their best defenders. Okay, Sean Payton is not there no more, so they're going through a scheme change. We done already went through our scheme change.
Have we?
Yes.
We still got a wide receiver as our best running back.
So let me just be a homer for today. Okay, let me just be a homer for today.
I wish you had just made that disclaimer from the very beginning. You just being a homer. That would have saved us 5 minutes. I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have the most proven team. I don't see Tom Brady getting off jumping off a huge cliff and play. They still have, even with injuries, the most talented team. If I had to go a second pick, it would be the Saints. I mean, I trust Jameis Winston more than I trust any quarterback for the Falcons, any quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. If I'm being objective, do I want the Saints to win? Of course not. But the Falcons, their roster is still flawed. They still need another year or two. We don't even know if we got a ready-made quarterback. I still think on the slide, the Falcons are trying to position themselves for the draft next year to either get Stroud or the young kid from Alabama. That's my truth, because I don't really think they believe in Riddler for long term. But nevertheless, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. They have the proven team, proven quarterback, and Tom Brady is the best quarterback in that division, hands down, even at 45. It's on you, Red.
Oh, boy, money. Maybe had you not started off with, I don't know, well, I guess I'll take the Falcons. Maybe Red wouldn't have been so hard on you. I mean, but you didn't even sound like you were convinced yourself. So if you're going to pick the Falcons, pick them with some confidence and say, I don't care what you got to say, Red, Coach Red. I'm picking the Falcons, and that's who my pick is. Now, well, let me be a homer for what now you know you're not convinced in the pick now. But I get you, man. You want to be a homer, but Coach pretty much had it right when he started his little soliloquy off. It's going to be Tampa Bay. Falcons are up-and-coming team. Panthers have no chance with Baker or Darnold. Saints, you got Krabby as the quarterback. Tampa Bay by default. Falcons up-and-coming. I mean, it will be a pleasant surprise that we can make some noise for the division this year, but next year is a little bit more realistic. Like you say, we have salary cap space next year. Next year we'll have a clearer picture of where we stand. Offensively, definitely. Defensive, I don't have a clue. But Falcons ain't winning the division. If the Falcons win the NFC South this year, that means a lot went wrong with Tampa. Krabby wasn't the guy that I know him to be, but obviously he proved his worth to the Saints, and their defense was overestimated. And Carolina's just Carolina. That's if the Falcons win. But I don't see that happening. The Falcons, like Rev said, probably still a year away. It will be a pleasant surprise. I just don't see it realistically. I see them playing better. If you want to say wild card chances, maybe, but even that's a stretch. So, like I say, I like that I'm going to go with Coach. We're an up-and-coming team, hopefully on the rise. But Tampa right now is the best team in the NFC South.
All right. Now, real quickly, we got to be shorter with this. We're approaching 3 hours on the show. The AFC Championship game. Who you got? AFC Championship game. We'll start with Armani.
The Broncos and
That's a bad
Ride them all the way.
ride them all the way, baby. And oh man.
Just one other team. You can say the Chiefs.
Okay. The Broncos and the Chiefs.
Coach, who you going with, man?
Steelers and Chiefs.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You already said they weren't gonna win the division.
That don't mean they can't win and go to the championship.
Okay.
Improvement
So
takes
you
place
said
all over.
Steelers-
You got to listen to everything I said. I said right now their offensive line is not very good right now. I didn't say at the end of the
Y'all
year.
crazy.
Toward the
Okay.
end of the year.
You
Things
sound
are gonna
So
improve.
you got
like me.
the
You
Steelers
sound like
and who
me
else,
5
Coach?
minutes ago.
Chiefs. We got to get y'all for what y'all did last year.
Well, y'all won't be doing it this year. Go ahead, Red. Who you got?
I got the Bills and the Bengals.
Bills and the Bengals. Okay. I'm going with the Bills and the Chiefs to replay that epic game that they had last year. So give me those two teams, the Chiefs.
And please don't let Josh Allen cry if he loses. They need to
NFC
treat the roof.
Championship game. Who you got?
Who is on?
We'll go to Coach. NFC Championship game.
Packers and Rams.
Okay, Packers and Rams. All right. Red?
Man, Lord have mercy. I'm going to go with the Rams and the Bucks.
Okay. That's not bad. You're trying to stay away from Aaron Rodgers as much as you can, I see.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs, so I ain't got to stay that hard. But I wasn't going to pick the Vikings. I wasn't going to pick the Vikings to be in the championship game.
I'm going to go, man, it's either for me, and I'll make a final decision. It's either Rams, Bucks, or Rams, Packers. I think if Tom Brady is going through what some folk are saying, he's going through some separation with
Y'all go, man.
because of his decision to come back to football, I'm going to go Rams, Packers with Coach. Armani?
See, that's the reason. A lot of folks don't really think Tampa. See, I don't even think Tampa's going to last this season. That, real, what you just said, even though folks may not be thinking about it, that has a possibility to be a huge effect on the Bucs season. Because if your number one guy not right in the head, and you see he already had to take 2 weeks off to beg Giselle not to leave, and it didn't work because she leaving. Man. But Brady, if you got these personal issues off the field, dude, you shouldn't have came back. I can't believe I'm saying this, but your woman has a point.
Yeah.
You were supposed to retire last year. You're 45 years old, still trying to play NFL quarterback, man. You got great all in your head. Your kids are gonna be in college soon, man. You just missing out on everything. You can't say your wife don't have a point, but hey, you want to try to be this great quarterback after 7 Super Bowls. What more do you have to prove, Tom? Man, I promise, Tom, you're going to look back on this moment, missing out with your kids, and going to regret this, man, because you have nothing to prove. You got a family waiting, wanting you to come back and play dad. In a few years, your kids ain't going to be there. You're not going to have nobody to play dad too. And with the mess you and Giselle going through, she may not be there neither.
All right, Red. Thank you for the marital counseling session.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Real. Have you looked at the Packers schedule?
No.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at these games. Vikings, Bears. Oh, got Buccaneers tough. Patriots ain't gonna be that tough. Giants, Jets, Commanders. I mean, then they got the Bills. That's gonna be tough. Lions, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, Vikings, Packers. I mean, right
The Vikings have on the same team now.
It's very favorable. All right, Armani, make your pick, please.
I'm gonna go Green Bay and the Rams. I mean, just like Red said, you gotta know when to hang it up. When my family tells me it's time to retire from the Navy, it's time to get out, man. So after that, I mean, it's just time. It's time. So that's gonna mess up your mental. And with that being said, Green Bay Rams.
Now, I wish we could cancel 5 minutes of what Red just said because Red went on that rant and still picked the Buccaneers to play in the Super Bowl. Y'all do recognize that, right?
No, I said the championship game.
Oh, championship game. Okay.
Not that Rams and Bucs the championship game.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't see them going to the championship game if that's big of a problem.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But you're right, because if he's going through that mess, I probably should have picked the Rams and the Cowboys. But I didn't pick the Cowboys to win the division. Exactly. That's why I couldn't pick the Cowboys to be the championship game after I dogged them out, not win the division. But I still think they're going to make the wild card, though.
When Red despises you. When Coach loves you, he loves you. You all see the dynamics on this show. Super Bowl picks. So, Red, we'll start with you. Who you got to say?
Okay. Super Bowl pick, Rams and the Bills. And I think the Bills, after all these years, finally get that coveted Super Bowl trophy. After 4 straight losses, after 10 plus years of being sorry and non-existent, not relevant, they finally get to the Super Bowl, and Josh Allen is a hero in Buffalo. Bills over Rams.
Man, I got Kansas City and the Bills in the championship game for AFC. I think it may be Josh Allen's time.
You gonna pick your boy to win your league?
I'm gonna go because they got a better defense. I'm objective.
Finally, thank you, Rhea.
The Bills have a better defense than the Chiefs. I'm gonna go Bills Rams. And since it's very rare that teams go back to back, I'm gonna go with the Bills.
The Rams get the same Super Bowl.
That's what I get. Armani.
Broncos Rams.
And tell us why. And obviously you got the Rams winning.
No, I bet he don't. You know you picking Sierra to win.
I am.
I know. I told you.
Yeah. Dante Armstrong has the Ravens and the Rams. Good luck with that pick.
Ravens.
Yeah, good luck with that pick.
He even signed a quarterback.
So you got the Steelers and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. So who's coming out of that game to play the NFC Champion?
Watch this, Red. Steelers and Rams. Tomlin wins and retires.
Man, I can't stomach this, man.
For real.
y'all gotta stop.
Oh my God.
Y'all gotta stop this, man.
Can I go back? I'm gonna change my Steelers pick.
I thought
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
I thought coach was on the right track, not picking his team to win the divisional championship. Then this man comes back and
He
tells
shocked me.
So let me ask this then. So I can make some sense of something that doesn't sound like it makes sense. Who's gonna be your quarterback by the time y'all get to the Super Bowl?
I think it's still gonna be it still be Trubisky.
Oh God, no.
You just wasted my time.
Okay, let me say this though, man.
Trubisky gonna lead a team to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Ray, let me say
After
this.
not winning the division.
Did he not take the pathetic Chicago Bears to the playoffs with a terrible team? Was he the quarterback?
And how many seasons did he do that?
I mean,
How many games did he win?
That's all it takes.
So I would be more inclined to listen if you said Kenny Pickett would be the starting quarterback because he's going to be the gem of quarterbacks for this rookie class. I could stomach that better. That sounds more realistic than somebody choosing Mitch Trubisky. So now we're hiring Mitch Trubisky after being a backup in Buffalo? So he got that much better watching Josh Allen in practice.
I look at our defense. Just like those older teams, those teams with Joe Flacco and that Baltimore defense took him to the Super Bowl.
But Coach, will y'all stop saying that because the rules have changed? There is no team that's had a defense like the Ravens when they won with Trent Dilfer. When they won with Joe Flacco, and Flacco was still solid offensively. He went toe-to-toe with Colin Kaepernick in that Super Bowl. So I can't even say Joe Flacco was terrible. But when the Ravens won the first one, they had Trent Dilfer. When the Buccaneers won, they had that sorry quarterback. There's no defenses like that anymore.
Okay, let me ask a question then. Did anybody on this panel think that Matthew Stafford was going to lead the Rams to a Super Bowl?
Yes.
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 Absolutely. Yes.
Matthew Stafford wasn't trash.
I didn't say he was trash.
No, I don't. Oh, let's say this. Maybe nobody picked them to win the Super Bowl,
Right.
but were we surprised? No, because did anybody railroad the trade? No, because everybody on the panel knew that Matthew Stafford was much better than Jared Goff, and they already went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
So did you think they would get by Tom Brady?
I maybe not that, but did we think they were going to be trash? No,
I didn't think they were going to be trash. No.
Yes. You talking about Mitch Trubisky and Matt Stafford?
That's a bad
But
comparison.
that's the comparison that you kind of bring it up.
No, I'm just saying, I just use Matthew Stafford because of his history and not getting to the big, doing
But
anything.
it was more of his franchise than it was his play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford is a solid quarterback.
Yeah.
Don't get me to talking about how bad the Lions franchise is. They're the only franchise where their two top players, whoever put a uniform on that team, retired in their prime.
This is the funny thing. Coach, if you got so much faith in Kenny or Mitch, how could you pick the Bengals to win the division?
You didn't. I guess y'all don't. You don't listen. I said right now with our defensive line problem, I'm picking the Bengals. Right now, I said that 20 times. I'm picking the Bengals because
So
our offensive line. Our offensive line is struggling.
So he's believing that the Steelers will be a much better team toward the end of the season than they will start at the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
And he believes that the wild card that the Steelers will get will let them get into the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you saying the Steelers will have such a bad start at the beginning that they won't be able to rebound back for the division at the
I
end?
didn't say they're going to have a bad start. I didn't say they're going to have a losing record. I just said that their offensive line is going to cause them to lose games they shouldn't have. And Cincinnati is right now a good enough team where they could play better than them right now. Right now they can play better.
Okay, so the Bengals will win 12 and the Steelers will win 11. What you saying?
It's gonna be close. I didn't give the Bengals a runaway. I didn't say they was gonna run away with the division. I just said that they were gonna
Yeah. So I said the Bengals will win 12, and the Steelers will win 11. That what you're saying?
11 or 10, enough to get into the wild card.
Okay, so you just saying the Bengals gonna win the division by one game, and the Steelers will make the wild card. But when the playoffs start, the Steelers will eventually take over.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, there you go, Rev. He explained it.
All right. God bless y'all. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's move on. And let's end this show because y'all are homering. Y'all
Oh, wait a minute, Rev. Not me. I was objecting.
All right. Who got a right to do what, when, where, and I can't even find it, man. Y'all have floored me with these. You have the right, man. I'm going to go first. Coach, Armani, you all have the right to stop being so homerish on this show, man. I mean, come on, man. The Steelers winning the Super Bowl with Mitch Trubisky, and then the Falcons winning the NFC South because their quarterback or their coach has more experience than the Saints coach, and the Saints coach is only coached for 1 year, while the Falcons coach is only coached for 2 years. Wow. I mean, y'all got the right to stop being homerish on this show. I love you guys. Y'all add a lot to the show, but y'all might have wasted 15 minutes of my life today with those homer picks. God bless you. I'm done.
Man, I don't know what y'all were laughing at me for early in the show, but you guys sure gave us better laughs. I think something I said about the Jags, and I ain't even picked the Jags to win the division, but they were sure laughing at me. Anyway, UGA, you got a right to start this season off right in about an hour and a half. Oregon will be coming to the to the Bend, and you got a right to stump them right on up out of Atlanta, make them wish they never heard of the SEC, send them back to the West Coast crying in tears, and you got the right to sit on top of college football with a 1-0 record. You have the right to keep this train going.
All right, who got it, Armani, Coach?
Go ahead, Coach.
Rev, you got the right to respect my picks when I say. No, just saying.
Come on.
No, college football, you have the right to give us a great season. I mean, it's shaping up to be a good one with some of these early games. So you have a right to give us a game, no blowouts, some good games this year and entertain us and let us have a different national champion this year. Give me some excitement into it.
So, Coach on the slide said he's rooting against Georgia. Gotcha.
Look at you. Look at you.
Hey, Coach, as far as the college football season, you right about that because Appalachian State, who had that 21-something lead over North Carolina, check that score out now.
I saw it. They tried.
All right, Armani, finish this up.
Oh, boy. Oregon, you have a right to make this game interesting.
No, they don't.
Don't get beat. Like I said, you're going to get beat. Surprise me a little bit. And Notre Dame, y'all do the same.
Now, Notre Dame, I want Notre Dame to have a better showing than Oregon because I don't want the black head coach to look that bad. But Oregon going to get stumped out. I don't care who their coach is. They about to get stumped out.
All right, Brother Corey.
Notre Dame, y'all show a little respect tonight, please.
You got the right to call the Benz the Dome and Phipps is the Omni. I don't care what nobody say. That's true Atlanta.
You right about that, real. Omni going to always be the Omni.
All right, gentlemen. Thank y'all for blessing us with a great show this week. Thank you, Revenite Nation, for tuning in. This is episode 246. We'll be back with 247 next week. We won't be.
I already got a good topic for us to discuss.
No 3 hours. This was
no 3 hours.
Nah, I ain't gonna.
God bless you
surprised
all.
Real State the whole 3.
Have a safe weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day. And say a prayer for the Reverend who'll be celebrating his 45th birthday on Tuesday. Peace and love, everybody.
Happy birthday, Real.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.